and gentlemen, blokes and Sheilas, fellow Australians, and of course, left-hearted trolls. Got to make sure the left-hearted trolls are. I love the way they're so dedicated to coming and making sure the view count goes up. It's very, very thoughtful of them. You know, even when you're being a dick, you're still helping, and that's big. One of the big things we're going to talk about today is how the left-hards are the ultimate at fucking processing their own demise. You know, they ask for it. They have created a right wing, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think there really was a right wing in this country until a bunch of fuckwits decided, let's be leftards and we'll force everybody with a real logical way of thinking into the category of right wing. Fuckwits. They've got to push everything into this category so that they can, hang shit, I guess, because they're just horrible, nasty, disgusting, depraved people that are, not happy with their own self-sacrifice, their own self-immolation. They've got to harm everybody else around them. And thankfully, people are finally starting to wake up to these fucking lunatics. It's good to see, it's good to see. But let's get right into it. So first off, we'll say g'day to Harps. How you going, mate? Always there nice and early to see. G'day, Michael, Zeusy, Nick there, Belinda. Hopefully we got the right Belinda. I'm sorry about last week. Very apologetic for that. Michael, T2, as always. How are you, brother? And Jason. How are you, brother? I'll die out. I don't know. They don't even know what a woman is. Can you imagine being so fucking retarded? You don't know what a woman is. But anyway, let's look at some retards who can't figure out what a woman is. It's always entertaining. It's a little bit out of order. It looks like I've had a few spelling mistakes today, but it's to be expected. You want to stick around to the end. I've got a little something I've got to run past you guys and let you know what's happening, but no point doing it when people are still coming in. So we'll talk about these things a little bit later, I say is probably the best way to do this. Let's have a look at some Alpu memesies. Good old Alpu. It's the cornerstone of everybody's nutrition online at the moment is to monitor what Albo is saying just so you can read the comments. Let's have a look at the shit the Australian people have to say to the world's worst Prime Minister. I don't know about maybe world's worst might be pushing it a bit, but I'm sure maybe there's other people in the world who have had worse, but certainly the worst in Australia. I mean, Gough Whitlam, typical Labor troll, that dude. But by God, this guy, absolute numpty. Yep, he's lived off welfare, never had a job, never had a business, and he is still living off the taxpayer. This guy is just a lazy liar. He's a grifter. He's the ultimate grifter, You reckon you owe him? Nothing to see here, he reckons. Funded by you, a career politician for life. Yes, this is an absolute turd that should be flushed immediately. I love the wall here. I think somebody put a blank up. It was something that kind of come up last week that I never ended up getting around to. G'day, Chris. How are you? Iona, how are you? And, I've seen there was a few renditions. So, but we'll get to the other ones later, apparently. So that's one of them. And let's have a look here. The Alpu toilet paper. I don't know. I mean, he's sticking everything else in there. I suppose we better wipe it as well, eh? Big on tax, big on spending, big on blame, big on lies, big on backflips, low on trust. Bloody oath. Wipe away common sense. Blame, lie, repeat. That's pretty much it. It's the communist handbook. Blame, lie, repeat. It's pretty much all they do, when they're not projecting their own evilness onto others, as we've seen quite a lot of on the brains. Mine's just not there, ladies and gentlemen. I've had to take quite a few painkillers today. It's a little bit, but I'll work through it. The gloat, the greatest liar of all time. And then I said, I've changed my position. We've all heard that one before, haven't we? Sips to the biggest liar we've ever seen. But wait, there's more. I was going to sort of stop at like 15, 16. I thought that's good, but the internet just kept providing. I hereby pledge a vote of no confidence in the Albanese Labor government. I think just about everybody can fucking make that pledge. We want him gone now. Walt Disney's The Corrupt Adventures of Albinocchio. Albanocchio. Yep. Featuring Jimmy Bob Chalmers. It's a good one. I love the creativity that we're getting out of the people at the moment. How many taxes? So that should have been put somewhere else. But anyway, how many taxes each country has? Yep, we have 125 taxes. The most heavily taxed country in the world. Fucking communist China has 20. We got 125. Jesus, my God. These government has got to go. And if Pauline does get in, and let's hope that we get some actual change for the first time in our actual lives, let's face it, it's always been Liberal Labor. Wouldn't it be nice to have something fucking different, Like I'm not the most faithful when it comes to the idea of Pauline Hanson, but by God, it's got to be better than these fucking useless twats that we've had. Every communist sellout. I hope she strips that right back. Let's see if she can actually start running the country properly. I mean, strength. A fucking blind chimp on a unicycle could do better. Yep, couldn't agree more. This one should have gone with the Labor thing, though. It's a bit out there. So, broke Gov Mountain. So people were supposed to caption it as well. Fucking classic. Broke Gov Mountain. Yep. And then not only are they broke, they're making sure that we are all broke and going down with their ship, Mount Costmore, I like that one. So that was the original thing, name this mountain. Fucking gold. So we've got the, lying noses, of course, because that's what they are. It's just part of being a socialist, really, because first of all, in order to really adopt something as stupidity as leftardation, the woke mind virus, socialism, you have to first lie to yourself. That's the big trick, because once you've lied to yourself, you actually believe your own bullshit. That's the funny thing, Mount Flushmore. Yes, we could never flush these turds enough, could we? You have it get that every now and then. There's like that one turd that just won't go down. You flush it, you throw an extra dunny paper on top of it, everything you could think of to get that turd to flush. That's the Labor Party. That's the ultimate analogy for the Labor Party. Mount Clueless. I think they do have one clue on how to enrich themselves. It's the only thing they seem to be able to achieve. I heard this week Australia is now considered a third world country due to it. Wow, I didn't know that one, Butterfly Heart. Sorry, just seen that. I just thought I'd better bring it in. I think it's come up before, but wow. I'll have to check that. Let's have a look. Declared third world nation, right? Let's see if there's any fact to this. Sky News has said Australia is becoming a third world nation. So we might leave that up there. We'll come back to this one. So anyway, back to the front, as Metallica said in 1986. Unlimited immigration. It's fucking perfect, isn't it? I mean, and it's fucking bad. It's bad. Like I was talking to a bloke running a shop the other day, and he was in the shop anyway, serving, and he was like, "You wouldn't believe it, man. Like these people come in here, they can't speak a goddamn word of English. They roll up in a brand spanking new friggin' card, and." I tried to ask him if they had the app, and old mate slaps his concession card down on the table thinking he's going to get a discount. It's like, fuck me. Like, I can't speak English. Here's my Centrelink card. Fuck me. This is bad. We're in a lot of trouble. Remigration. I hope Pauline Hanson is serious on the remigration. I'm actually not happy that she still wants to keep immigration happening in any way, shape, or form. I think it needs to go, but we'll talk about that later. Good old Elbow and his smasher. Yes, he's so worried about poor Ditch the Witch that he forgot what kind of a dirty piece of shit he is, and how easy it is for him to dehumanize other people, much as we are all going to dehumanize him. I don't think this man is human. I think he's an absolute snake. He's a piece of shit, and he should be flushed like the turd that he is. Look, good to see the Fire the Liar campaign kicking around all through Melbourne. Well done, guys. Even on these shitty, cloudy, miserable, wet Melbourne shitty days, you guys are out there getting the message out there. Well done. Well done. Breaking news. Fuck that break. Or was that Flick the Prick? Very cunningly placed. No wonder. The face that you make. when your $27 donation campaign to stop One Nation raises $20,000 and Pauline's Fire the Liar campaign raises $2.4 million in 36 hours. That's got to hurt. But we'll see more on how much that hurt the fucking troll. As you know, he's king of the trolls, really, isn't he? King of the trolls. And that's why you don't hand a $2 trillion economy to a houso communist. Yeah, it's like, just look at this. He looks like he's fucking wired on something. Fire the liar. Brilliant. Gotta love it. Thanks, Comrade Elbow. Free visits until the waiting list is longer than the bread lines, which in this country ain't going to be long.
I just noticed you don't have a microphone.
Oh, it's truth. Sorry. Is that audio a little bit better? Just didn't realize I had the mic over there. Too busy getting into my thing. That shows you the painkiller's working. 51K non-citizens brought home with government help. 51,000 non-citizens our government sold out. Any wonder there's a housing crisis? They're throwing fuel on the fire. These people have got to go. They need to be charged. And apparently I can't say to Elbow that, you know, the gallows await. I got in trouble on X apparently for telling him that. But honestly, I think we should be breaking them out for him. Chuck the cuck. There's a good one. Good to see people. There's actually some live video of these people clapping and marching down the street. Yep. Get rid of him. He's got to go. Albanese, fire the liar. This is a brilliant campaign. How long can he last? I'm surprised he has lasted this long. Like, the Australian people really should be marching every fucking day until he is fucking gone. He has to go. There's no ifs and buts about it. We cannot wait till 2028, ladies and gentlemen. You know, he's got to go. You know, oh, this is a good one. I like this one. Hi, I'd like a wake-up call. Of course, sir. You're a fucking liar and loathed by the entire nation. The Labor Party offer for the Australians, McNuffin. I love it. Would you like lies with that? Well, they're mandatory, aren't they? It's just how it is. And the box is empty, just like their promises. Of course. They're communists. The only thing they're interested in is enriching themselves while trying to convince fuckwits, complete and utter mental morons, that they actually give a fuck. Like, seriously, how many generations of Australians do we have to go through before we realize that this Labor Party is nothing but a communist wasteland, you know, and that's what they're putting us into. Yep. That's his dreams. That's the only thing a communist really wants for this country. Sips. And it's actually coincidentally Alpo 28, because if we wait till 2028, this is what our country's going to look like. It's already fucked. Elbow, delusional elbow. From the Mad magazines. I love that. Brilliant artwork. When reality crashes his press conference, Mr. Albanese, Pauline's fundraiser smashed your fundraiser. Your response? Did she though? You know, it's fucking cold. Let's have a look at the video that corresponds to this one. This is fucking hilarious. Watching him stumble, like, seriously, just start firing the bullets. This guy's got to go. This guy has got to go. Check.
In the fundraising race, though, she raised more than $1 million yesterday.
Did she though? Did she though? Did she? Whatever it is.
Yes, she did, dickhead.
You know, like it is an example of slogans being put forward are not substance, and people can say all of these things.
So here in full denial. He's like, no, it's just crap that you read online. It's just crap.
They get a run in the media. They had an ad for their fundraising campaign, effectively free ad in one of the mainstream publications here yesterday.
So basically blaming the mainstream media for giving them a free ad. Oh dear, they reported on what Pauline Hanson was doing and has done, and people are supporting it, and he cannot hack it. Love it. Can't wait till you're gone. Cannot wait till he is gone. And he should be deported along with all these fucking migrant mates that he's brought in. He should be the first one to go. Send him back to China where all those fucking turds belong. Flick the prick. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Wonderful work, Victoria. I lie. So what? The retards will still believe me. And you can see it's amazing. They're actually starting to pay to get their shit to come up, because all of a sudden there's all these leftard fucking, I think they're probably bot accounts popping up on X. I support elbows. You've got to be shitting me. You guys, your comment sections are just as amusing as fucking bloody elbows. I am a pathological liar for the 50th time. Is that all? I could have sworn there was more than 50 times he's let us know this, but like every time he opens his mouth, like the 50th time, was that just today? I like this one too. I love it. I'm sorry the wizard couldn't help you, Elbow. He helped my other friends with a brain, a heart, and some courage. Maybe asking for all three at once was a bit much. He says he doesn't want to see a future where young Australians will never own their own home. This out of touch fool doesn't even realize it's already happened, and his immigration policy will ensure it stays that way in the future. Wake up, Australia. Vote this traitor out. We can't wait to vote him out. We need him removed. He needs to become the second Labor troll to be removed from office. It is an absolute must. Yep. Fire the liar. Wonderful work, Sydney. Yep. What's that? I can't remember. Can't remember. I had something else to do something, but I can't remember now. Yep, the West has created an utterly evil state religion where an accusation of racism is the gravest offense that can be committed, even worse than rape or murder. And that certainly seems to be the way. So if police show up at a crime scene and a British boy is bleeding out and an immigrant says the British boy is racist, the cops will cuff the dying British boy. That's the world we're living in now. It's fucking retarded. G'day, Leander. How are ya? Unleash the flying monkeys. Here's some flying monkeys. He's a fuckwit. This is one of the fuckwit accounts that's come up, a newspaper, which is no longer a newspaper, but a billionaire-funded pamphlet. They've been like that for a long time. Let me help fucking leftard fuckwit out here. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's, I gotta stop sharing that one. Sorry. Share the screen. Where is it? Over here. No, that's not the right screen. Sorry. We need to share screen. Let's get the right one this time. Not that one. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay, too much shit to open it would seem. It's getting hot there. Must be the painkillers. Where was I? What was I doing? I've completely lost my fucking brain at the moment. Like, that's right. Billionaire funded. That's what we were doing. Yeah. Let's have a look. Rupert Murdoch. Let's see how long this has been going on for. And he's only just woken up because, it's not to his liking. They're not servicing him anymore, eh? So let's get it up. Let's have a look. Rupert Murdoch, an Australian-born American, former business magnate. Let's have a look, at all the shit. The billionaires own the Daily Wire, Herald Sun, the Australian, Wall Street Journal, all this shit before he moves over, It all started as a small Adelaide newspaper owned by his father in the 1950s and 1960s. Murdoch acquired a number of newspapers in Australia and New Zealand. You meant a number, nearly all of them, for crying out loud. It's fucking ridiculous, Is there a list of actually, that's probably a better way to do this. Maybe if I go to Brave and go list all Murdoch publications. Let's give that a go, eh? That'll probably work better for us. I'm going to help these leftards out as much as possible. They're clearly incapable of thinking for themselves, but, Oh, wow. He even owns Jewish postcards. What? No, wrong Murdoch. Rupert, you fucking... There we go. Even though I spelled it wrong, it fixed it for me. Good. The Daily Telegraph, Herald Sun, the Australian, the Courier Mail, the Advisor, NT News, Post Courier, the Mercury, Weekly Times, and Inside Out. Well, you're missing, the fact that they own most of the Courier Mail. I guess the subsidiary kind of owns and runs fucking all the local newspapers in Townsville and various other places as well. But it's all Murdoch media basically. It actually doesn't have the whole entire list. Let's Let's have a look, see what it says. Does it come up with the Western? Not sure if that one is, but I'm checking it. So that owns the Daily Telegraph, the Sunday paper, Herald Sun, Sunday Herald Sun, the Courier Mail, the Sunday Mail, the Advertiser, the Sunday Times, the Mercury. Wow, it's pretty hard. We apparently missed the Western Australia. So which one owns the Western Australian then, eh? So who owns the Western Australian? Let's have a look. What was it called? Yeah, the West. Oh, it's the West Australian. Australian. Seven West Media. Rightio. But everything's owned by billionaires, isn't it? That's kind of the way it works because everything gets sold out. It's that simple. But now it's a problem for the leftards because, well, they're not singing their tune anymore. Maybe they know where the sinking ship is and they time to get on side because, wow, sales must be down when you're constantly pushing left-hearted nonsense and nobody wants to hear that shit anymore. We've all had a gutful, haven't we? Oh. Where am I? All right, that's what I was doing. Now that's up. Maybe it'll show. Thank you. All right, so there's our first fuckwit. Billionaire funded pamphlet for right-wing insurgency. Like, listen to the crap these people talk, By God, you finally lost favor with everybody, and now it's time for the stick. It's a carrot on the stick situation. They've held the carrot out. Nobody wants to eat their tainted carrot anymore and get caught with, orange-handed. So they've flipped to the orange team to try and cover up the orange stains on their hands from the carrots they've been taken, it would seem. Built on fear and division and the votes of people being duped into thinking she is on their side, which is exactly the left. They think, we're supposed to think they're on our side. Look at what they've done. Look at what they've done. This Tom the whistleblower, this has got to be a troll account of some sort. I don't know why it keeps popping up in my shit, but all of a sudden, Tom the whistleblower is there somehow. He must be paid Labour shill, no doubt. In 30 years, Hanson has played a victim card. What, like the entire leftist fucking movement does? Again, this is their projecting their shit onto others and use divisive rhetoric. The whole yes-no vote and all the other bullshit they come up with to harvest votes. These votes primarily have come from Queensland. Ooh, naughty Queenslanders. North of Brisbane up. And the problem? So you're going to shit on the entirety of Queensland outside of Brisbane. Rightio. Well done, dickhead. They are generally lower income. Oh, really? Wow, that's very, very astute of you. Lower educated people looking to blame others. This is seriously, the truth is in the last 100+ years, that's what the Labor Party have done. That's all you have to do. Change this out for the last 100+ years, the Labor Party. And then it starts to read a little bit closer, except, maybe not primarily come from Queensland. Again, these people are just fucking retards, absolute retards. Another moron. Reinhardt has spent millions on platforming One Nation, largely via Murdoch-produced pro-One Nation advertorials. This rise in far-right Trumpian BS is exactly why billionaires should never be allowed to control our media. Billionaires are the enemies of democracy. Really? Who do you think's been funding all your left-hardation bullshit this whole fucking time, you fucking retards? You people have no clue. Orange wave searches, 2/3 back. Pauline, yep, 2/3, yeah. And look at the crocodile tears. There's heaps of it.
Aussie patriots claim they can't afford groceries due to immigrants, but can suddenly afford to send $500 to Senator Hanson for a bunch of useless billboards. Some might consider an investment in attempting to save our country. So what little we have left may actually stay in our pockets before some communist fucktard like you comes along and wants to steal it because you're too lazy to go and get your own money, you fuck. This is some more of the wholehearted fuckwittedry. I don't know, a Madra swift justice, hey? You know, another cultist by the look of it. Fair warning. Yes, I'm going to go hard as nails on her. Oh, we're scared. If you want a female Trump, that's what you get. Well, we're actually going to get the first female prime minister who's a lying, left-hearted fuckwit. We'll actually have the first female prime minister that knows what a woman is. Could you imagine? When your entire political life is based around hate, Labor, fear, Labor, and condemnation of others, definitely Labor, Greens, and all you left-hearted fuckwits, you don't get to pretend to be the victim when it is thrown back at you. Really? What happened with the Ditch the Witch campaign? Seems to be exactly what they've done. So anyway, back onto die Hexe. All right. For those of you who don't know, the German word for witch is Hexe. So there's your German word for the day. By the way, I've been learning German for over a year now. So 367 days, I think it was today. So sips to me. Aren't I good? You know, with socialism on the rise, I figured it was a wise move to learn German. We'll be speaking it soon enough if people keep voting Labour. So anyway, ditch the corrupt witch. Gotta love it. I'm sure she's really happy about this. Like, this is wonderful election campaigning. What was it? Anyway, communists got their paid protesters in pretty quick. Oh, fucking oath. You know, it's all the left, all the people who are hoping that they can get a citizenship in before the Labor's kicked out, I think. Anyway, where's our 15 billion, Jacinta? Very simple. Very simple. Where's that fucking money gone, you troll? More cars stolen in Melbourne than in any other capitals, than in all other capital cities combined. Now, that's impressive. You know, here I was thinking Townsville was, you know, kicking goals on that one. Like, but nah, look out. Labor-controlled state will always do it better, right? Under Labor, 190% increase in burglaries, 200 billion in debt, taxes 124% up, 15 billion lost in corruption that we know of. That's just the one. I mean, they're a criminal syndicate. Can you imagine how much more is in there? 324% interest on interest, 324% increase in interest. Thank you, just thank you, Labor. They not only are they happy to spend everybody else's money, they're even willing to spend it before you've got it to steal. Fucking scumbags. And property tax, 231%. Yes, there is no greater scumbag than anyone who is associated with the Labor Party. As far as I'm concerned, you know, you should just go through anybody who's fucking registered member of the Labor Party, deport a whole lot, piss them off to China. It's where they belong. I took 15 billion from you Victorians and gifted it to the thugs at the CFMEU. I mean, again, it astounds me that it's taken so long for people to start to see that unions are just thugs. I mean, I've known this since I was a kid. So if I knew it as a kid, how the hell did everybody else not know? It's amazing how many things the general public seems to know, but nobody seems to get it acknowledged in anywhere. But, you know, until it's blindingly obvious, you know, speak just as obvious as this little meme here. Brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant work for the Hexa. Cost of labor crisis, $20 from every person on earth wouldn't pay off Victoria's debt. Well, it is Victoria's death, isn't it? Like, she's murdered the place. You know, she should be up on murder charges for murdering an entire state. This woman is toxic. Not. I mean, mind you, she Dictator Dan was the ultimate, you know, destroyer of Victoria. She's just presiding over its final days, you know. Put them all in a hole. Couldn't agree more, eh? You know, I can imagine there's a lot of potholes all around Victoria, fucking all over the rest of the country, as every layer of shit government, from local city councils to fucking federal government, they are all shit. They should all be rounded up and put in a jail cell and thoroughly investigated. And once we've determined whether they're innocent or not, I'm banking pretty heavily on the fact that none of them are, they stay there. If we determine they're guilty, I'm a disaster. Kick me out of here. Yep, that's pretty much the face of Labor, a disaster. Nothing more than a scam. Alan faces most intense grilling yet on CFMEU. I mean, yeah, she should be gone. She's a criminal. Flat out criminal, should be removed. 50 Shades of Lies. It's kind of hard to unsee that picture, isn't it? I think there's more shades of lies that come out of the Labor government. You know, it's a fundamental principle of being a left-hearted commie in the first place, is to be an accomplished liar. More cars stolen in Melbourne than in any other capital combined. We already done that one. Liar and liar. I like that. It's a good one. Very clever. Very good work. Yeah, another Elon post come up here. So this is my little category: how to create the far right. You know, and this is the left. The left have done this, as we stated earlier. It was actually supposed to sort of be at the beginning here, but somehow something went wrong. Anyway, the truth is that there are vastly more hate crimes, especially aggravated rape and murder, per person by blacks against whites than the other way around. This is not remotely debatable, as the numbers are so extremely lopsided. You know, and Elon's brought over from Kevin Bass. Last year's DOJ published a report: for every 10,000 blacks, 153 violent crimes are committed by a black person each year against a white person. That's what it looks like, you know, when we break it down. So that was the post put up by Elon. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that black people are bad or anything. And this is definitely more of an American thing. It's nothing to do with Australia. But you know, you gotta wonder, why is that? Why is that? There's something wrong there. You know, saying only white people can be racist is obviously a racist definition of racist. Can you argue with that? I certainly can't see how you can. You know, there's another example of the white versus black scenario there. 47.6 more likely to be attacked by a black person than a white person in America. Interesting. And is that because of the leftards making out that white people are bad all the time? I can't help but think that the leftists have created this. I don't think it's inherently a thing with black people in particular. I don't think it's inherently in them. I think what it is left-wing fuckwits making out that they're the victim, and they've made them feel like such a victim that they decide they want to be the oppressor now. Look at what's happened. This is the gift of communism. This is the gift of leftardation trying to make a far right. Because at the end of the day, when do we stop wanting to be the victim? I've had enough. I'm not going to be the fucking victim anymore. That's for sure. You know, doesn't mean I'm going to be the aggressor, but I certainly am not going to be the victim. This is bullshit. This leftardation needs to come to an end. They are the perpetrators of hate. They have created this. You've never been judged by the color of your skin. Just was. It's that simple. Next time you hear some fuckwit say, you've never been judged by the color of your skin, you just did, fuckwit. Well done. You are a moron. Very simple, straightforward stuff. It's so easy to turn their arguments around because their arguments are stupid. Teenage boy avoids jail after rape and sexual assault of girls in northeast England. Exclusive calls for urgent change after rehabilitation orders a laughable £26 in court for the court fees in 3 separate cases. That is fucking ridiculous. How like, I mean, seriously, they get off on rape and sexual assault and they're forced to pay £26. You've got to be shitting me. You've got to be shit. This is exactly how you create the far right. You know, that's why this section is called How to Create the Far Right. Left Hard Handbook. Playing the race card. Foreign rapist shared deportation. Like to see some shared deportation. It's about, spared deportation. They should be sharing their deportation with their friends and family, as far as I'm concerned, because that would really perhaps help the community come together and keep their own in check. They'd want to start disowning their own kind real quick. You want to stay, you got to keep your family in line too. I think that's a fair thing to do. Get rid of the lot. We've got a massive, they've brought too many in. We've got to find ways to get rid of them. It's that simple. How anti-immigrant figures used Belfast stabbing to push an agenda. You've got to be shitting me. This is the ABC knowing that they're on their deathbed when Pauline comes rolling through the fucking door. Bye-bye, ABC. Live on your own. No more government money for you, you left-hearted fuckwits. Done and dusted. It should have been bipartisan, but you decided to be full-blown left-hard, and look at what it's going to get you. And here they are kicking and screaming with utter bullshit. Billionaire Elon Musk and far-right activist Tommy Robinson have seized upon the alleged stabbing. And so they even had to underline it just in case you got missed, didn't realize it was just alleged, of a man in Belfast by a Sudanese migrant to push an anti-immigration agenda. It's not a fucking anti-immigration agenda. It is we are sick of you left-hearted fuckwits flooding us with fucking migrant criminals. Where's the fucking security checks here? These people can't even fucking speak English in a lot of cases. Bullshit. More how to create a right-winger here. The rise of the new right. The new right. I thought right was always right because, otherwise you have nothing left. So anyway, is it a direct product of the left? Yes, it is. Here's a person that kind of inspired it in a way. Actually, I was already onto it. She's number 8. The more extreme they became by supporting terrorists in Gaza and pushing trans ideology over biological reality, the more people flocked to the right. I can think of a lot of people need flogging, but anyway, leftists just don't get it. The more they attack, the more we recruit. That's it. They are pushing people into the right. You're not as left as I am. They even attack their own. It's amazing. You didn't say the right fucking set of catchphrases this week. You must be a right-wing Nazi or something. Fucking retards, these people. These freaks and clowns are the best possible campaign booster at Pauline Hanson, and they are too dumb to realize. Also, will tea towels be provided or is it BYO? Gotta love it. I didn't say it. That's just what people are saying on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. It's not me, I swear. I could think of these things myself, but it's way too much effort. It's far better to just let the left do what they do best. Destroy everything they come across. Alrighty then. Sips, ladies and gentlemen. Still got these from last week. Can't afford to buy a slab every week, that's for sure. They're going to protest Pauline Hanson. Have a look at it. Member of Campaign Against Racism and Fascism. Well, if it's such a problem, maybe you could go back to whatever country you came from and tell them all about it. And okay, whatever, Victorian Socialists candidate for Western Metropolitan. Really? You're a socialist? Instant. How to tell you're a retard? You're a socialist. So cool, wonderful. The good old Marie Farkew, deputy leader of the Greens. Yep, another stunning example of why we should be voting for Pauline Hanson, I guess. These people are insane, Was it student convener of Students for Palestine? Well done. Yeah, there's another good reason to vote for Pauline Hanson. Thank you. Anti-apartheid activist and union militant. Cool. So you've just admitted to being a thug. Well done. How much of the CFMEU fucking money did you get, fuckwit? Omar Hassan, Victorian Socialists candidate for Northern Metropolitan. Seriously, have you guys picked up a history book? Did you see that by putting the word socialist next to your name is just as good as saying Nazi? It's also just as good as saying comrade, because we've seen left-hearted socialists with Russia. We've seen the right-wing socialists in Nazi Germany. It's the bottom of the pit. Once you've reached socialism, you're at the bottom of the political pit. Scumbags. But this is what these people are defending. They want to bring more of these kind of shit into our country. With a 21st century Britain justice posted racist comment on Facebook, 15 weeks in prison. Sold anti-immigration stickers, 24 months in prison for selling stickers. Really? Raped 12-year-old girl, 180 community hours, no prison time. This is how you create a right-wing scenario where you attack people for pointing out there's a problem, and then continue to make sure the problem is allowed to run free. This bloke should have been shot. It'd solve a lot of problems. 44-year-old woman decapitated. North African man with drug precedents arrested. Again, you let these people into the country. What do you think is going to happen? How to create the far right. It's the government manual. They're doing it. They're trying to turn kind, caring, decent people in the West into racist lunatics, because we've never been racist lunatics. They're making us racist lunatics in self-defense. It's fucking ridiculous. We went to the playground the other day. I looked around. We were the only white people. And I'm like, fuck me. This is bad. How did that happen? 8 years ago when I got to Townsville, I'm like, thank God I'm in Australia again. It's taken 8 years. And now I'm looking around going, well, now where do I move? This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Dublin, one of the safest cities in the world, 2003. 2024, 21 years later, Dublin ranks among the top 10 most dangerous major cities in Europe. Thank you, Leftards. Look at what you've done. This is what happens with mass immigration from violent third world nations. And it's been done on purpose. It's that simple. We know this. We know they've done it on purpose. They want to create a racist, hate-filled Western society. That's the only logical conclusion. Unchecked mass immigration for years. Local backlash for 3 days over the alleged beheading scenario. Now the guests feel unsafe in the host's house. Oh, poor them. Please get on a plane, start going back. Didn't want you here in the first place. And this is the result. This is what is coming. We were polite for decades. The time for politeness is over. How many times do we have to be assaulted, raped, bashed, murdered, being mugged and stolen from by our own government to pay for this? You've got to be shitting me. Absolutely. This is what you're going to get. And you can't help but wonder, is that what they want? I must exercise caution, ladies and gentlemen, for the future. And again, here's another stunning example of the assault on white people. An open letter to the surgeon who removed my breasts. I have lived every day for the last 7 years with the physical and psychological wreckage you left behind. When I was 14 years old, you took a scalpel to my healthy body and amputated my breasts. I didn't have the capacity to understand the permanence of what you were doing to me. A heart-rending read by Clary at Burn Your Binder. We are immensely grateful she chose to courageously share her vulnerability with us. This is the result of left-tardation. And these fucking maggots are still going, yes, we should be in there to support the poor trans kids. Look at what you've done. You fucking sick bastards. What the fuck is wrong with these people? It is absolute lunatic. And I mean, look at this guy. It kind of looks like he fell out of fucking Satan's left armpit. Like, but he was happy to take the money to, abuse this poor child, destroy her. Fucking disgraceful. Utterly disgraceful. This is how you create the far right. Let me get this straight. The UK went for one of the safest places on earth to rape capital of Europe. Rape gangs have not only gone unpunished, in some cases, the police actively joined in. Yep, this is the world we live in. And yet the politicians who allowed this to happen are still in office. When is enough enough? It's that fucking simple, ladies and gentlemen. The Western society has had enough. And until there's a massive pushback, massive fucking pushback, this shit is going to keep going on. Just have a look at it. It's fucking ridiculous. And I believe there is a video that goes along with this one, if I'm not mistaken. Now, here it is. Create the right video. So, be happy to be. I'm going to turn that garbage off because it's friggin' horrible. But, while you're watching the meters run, that obviously it's not the same as that one. I was supposed to go earlier with the Elon post. I thought I got that mixed up. Sorry, but you get the idea. While you're watching that run, you have to wonder: is the nigger gangster stuff? Is that what's creating a lot of this black crime? I mean, P. Diddy was wonderful for making sure that it all kept going along with these sick, perverted ways. I mean, you got to wonder. Not that I'm against rap music. Shit, I didn't mind Ice Cube and all that sort of stuff, but I kind of felt that in a lot of ways, Ice Cube was pointing out just how fucked the situation was, particularly when you get to, I think it was the album War and Peace, and there he is talking about how being a gangbanger was so good to him as he's pushing around in fucking in a wheelchair and his dick doesn't even work. It's like, well done, guys, you know? And look at this spike. Look at this massive spike. Can we just drop that comment? Sorry. Yeah, so you can see the massive spike if we come back here in the last few years. I mean, it's kind of obviously things were, you know, sitting at quite high for that particular population. But as the leftardation of society has done a massive increase in 2019 during the Black Lives Matter bullshit and the George Floyd crap, you know, have a look at its score. Look at it just shoot through the roof. That is the product of leftardation. The left have done that. Started to come back down a little bit now that Trump is sort of, you know. But anyway, you get the idea. Leftardation, the biggest cause of the right wing so far. You'll never come across anything quite like it. You know, of course, how else? What? But here's the icing on the cake. These poor 3 innocent children, lives destroyed. Never again, because these kids will ever be right. You know, they're dead. 3 girls stabbed over 200 times between them. What the fuck? Why would you bring this into any country? I mean, it's bad enough these people carry on like fucking animals in their own countries. Now they're coming over here and bringing that to us. It's bullshit. This is how you create the right. So congratulations, leftards. You've created the right wing. You've put Pauline Hanson in power. If only people had the vision, the clarity of vision that I had when I was fucking 16 years old. I knew we needed Pauline Hanson then. I could see the writing was on the fucking wall, but everybody was so caught up in the leftard Labor lies of racist, the stupid racist card. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. I really don't give a shit. If that's the word, if that's all you've got, seriously, you're done for. So here's the Labor component of the memes. And seriously, well, I mean, 50 minutes on memes straight away. How fucking that's how much the internet's had enough of the leftard. All we had to do was promise them free stuff. Well, that's all they ever do is promise free stuff. Hook, line, and sinker, carrot and a stick. And when the carrot doesn't work, they use the stick. If you're still a Labor voter in 2026, you're a communist or a complete fucking moron. How could you possibly support that government? I don't understand how you can do it. Net debt in Victoria over time. Look at this shit. That's the Dictator Dan spending plan. You know, fuck me. That's bad. That's real bad. And it just keeps getting worse. They don't care. Just keep borrowing and borrowing, you know, like, wow. And I guess now's kind of probably not a bad time to look at that. Oh, we'll deal with it later. You get the idea. Then here's the carrot and a stick. Take the carrot, or I'll use the stick. ALP dud. Couldn't be more appropriate. Victoria, the lawless state. This is supposed to go with the Jacinta Allen stuff. I should have gone through it. But unfortunately, I had to lie down for a bit because my back was killing me. So I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. There's something about Labor. CMFEU billions gone. Yep. Record crime. Check. Rampant bail, check. Soft on crime, soft on criminals. They're not just soft on criminals. Their approach to criminals is criminal. Youth crime crisis. Yep, it's all over the country. It's not just Labor, but they're obviously doing the best at it. Failing hospitals, fucking oath. Labor are the ones who are supposed to fund those things, but they can't seem to do it. Ambulance delays. Yep. This is the part. The amount of times I've heard of some left-tarded fucking Labor moron keep going on about how the Labor Party's good because you get hospitals and ambulances and shit. Really? The proof's in the pudding. You've been lied to. Cost of living crisis, of course, because they can't manage the books. You have fucking people with arts degrees running fucking financial services, for fuck's sake. Shit. I don't even have an arts degree, but I reckon I could do a better job. Housing unaffordability. Yep. congratulations. That was already happening before dictator Dan destroyed it. High taxes. Yep, of course. How else are you going to pay back all the fucking money they borrowed? Broken promises. Are you surprised? They do it every fucking time. How dumb is the Australian people? Stop voting for these retards. We love tax in every position. Yep, that's it. They want tax everywhere because everything is tax. It's fucking ridiculous. Tax you very much. That's it. Higher taxes, new taxes, more taxes, your taxes, always taxes because you're worth it. Yeah, rightio. We promise everything, deliver taxes. That's pretty much all they do. Jacinda Allen's treaty bill, a disgrace and a sad day for Victoria. Yes, some more of her wonderful work. Retardamol. Gotta love it. It's a perfect name, retardamol. For the treatment of the woke mind virus, take 4 times daily. I'm kind of hoping there's cyanide in it, but you know. And of course, Labor's been jumping up and down about, there's a 1 billionaire. 1 billionaire is helping fucking One Nation. 1 billionaire. Well, let's have a look at all the billionaires that are supporting Labor. Have a look at this shit. Have a look at it. And they're doing it into the millions. Pratt Holdings, $7.5 million from Pratt Holdings. Australian Hotels Association. I guess they're the ones who got all the deals from Cook the Books Dan, from the COVID bullshit. Communications, Electrical and Plumbing Union. Oh, wow, the union supporting Labor. Never would have thought that. So they funnel the money into your taxes and then they fucking give it to the unions and the unions funnel it back. It's just this fucking ridiculous retard circles of a cycle. It's nuts. Communication with the Pharmacy Guild. The Pharmacy Guild. It's a guild, something is to cover it. So you know that they're covering medicine, they're covering real health and putting a shiny fucking covering over it so that they can give the Labor Party $2.5 billion. Yes, the Pharmacy Guild wants this because Jesus Christ, Pauline Hanson wasn't going to jab everybody. Maurice Blackburn, yes, we're going to need the lawyers soon because fucking all the corruption and crime, they're going to need all the help they can get. Electrical Trades Union again, look at all these construction, forestry, maritime, CFMEU, more unions. Macquarie Group, National Automotive Leasing and Salary Packaging, look at them all. Look at all these fucking people. The ANZ Bank's even in there. Tabcorp, of course, they let you run the gambling. Westpac, the banking. You want to talk about billionaires? These guys are balls deep in the banking cartel. Look, we've even got the Commonwealth banks in there. Any wonder your bank fees are so high, Yeah, don't worry, put through that digital money. Yes, put through the digital money. Here, take some more real money. Fucking hell. Boy, God. Any Labor fuckwit turns around and says, oh, but she's being supported by a billionaire. Show them this. For fuck's sake. This is the strategy. Accuse your enemy of what you are doing as you are doing it too. Create confusion. And that's pretty much what the Labor Party does. And everything that comes out of their mouth is projecting right now. You can see it. All the blaming, you can just instantly turn it around quite easily and tenfold because they are the worst. We got rich off CGT, but you won't be. That's it. They made sure they got themselves all sorted, and then they screwed the country. You'll own nothing and be happy. But they get to own something, hey, because they're part of the elitist scum. Australia records worst fall in living standards in the world. Massive. My God, China and Chile and things doing better than us. Insane, isn't it? Insane. How could you possibly vote for this? How is anybody in Australia actually thinking this guy's helping us? You'd have to be fucking retarded. When government intervenes in an attempt to lower the cost of anything. Yep, that's pretty much what they're doing. Yeah, shit. I'm pretty sure I showed this, a couple of weeks ago, but it's just so accurate, isn't it? The Australian Labor, as the only workers they're looking after are the twisted sex workers with beards. Poor people have been voting Labor for decades, and they're still poor. It's pretty obvious, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, I figured out at the age of 16 what the fuck's keeping everybody else. Yep, that's pretty much Labor voters. They must love the taste of dog bum. See, I found a way to not swear for a brief moment. It can be done, I'm sure. Labor's housing policy. Import another 1.5 million migrants to build houses for the last 1.5 million migrants. But don't import tradies or the CFMEU will be pissed. Never mention immigration. Talk about building houses. Talk some more about building houses. Buy a few houses and say we built them. Insist the housing crisis is a supply problem, even though the supply of housing is increasing, not decreasing. Pretend demand doesn't exist. Stimulate demand with a 5% deposit scheme. Start building trailer parks, but call them modular homes. Make people rent out their spare bedroom to an Indian family. Take over local councils and rezone all parks and golf courses. It's pretty much what they've done. Flatten more koala habitat for housing estates. Yep, quick. Destroy tell us all about how you love the environment and how you're looking after it. Go get the koala clubber out. I know she loves killing koalas, so you know we've got to build them homes for these migrants. Free up family homes by encouraging old people to move out. Quite often I hear from old people, we're being targeted. I'm like, the whole fucking country's being targeted, and you were asleep at the wheel when you were young enough to do something about it. Under no circumstances allow house prices to fall. Promote the healthy, outdoorsy lifestyle choice of tent living. Zang. Rusted on Labor voter. Yep, heartless. You'd have to be. You'd have to have no heart or compassion for yourself to still consider voting for Labor. You are a fucking retard at this point. Scum of the earth. People who don't want border protection. Terrorists. Drug smugglers, people smugglers, and the Albanese Labor government. Yep, I love this one. Leftoid Industries, lobotomy in progress. Yep, we're making more Labor voters. Just so sad, the whole housing situation. Totally agree. Like this country should not be in this shit. You know, you always hear from the old timers how good everything was in the 60s and 70s. And I'll spend all my life listening to everybody bitch and complain about how everything was going downhill, but they did nothing about it. Congratulations, guys. Look at what you've done. Time. Traders of the year, the enemy within. Yep, there is no greater enemies. This one isn't even a real citizen of the country. She's alliances are not here. This one is the same. They're interested in their culture, not ours, and they do not belong here as a result. A vote for Labor is a vote for a further decline in Australian standard of living. Yep. It's pretty much how it is. If you're enjoying how much everything sucks, just wait till next week. They'll have it even worse. Chalmers lashes out, calls Aussies selfish. Wow, we're selfish because we don't want to give this turd any more money to fuck the country. Yeah, and we're real selfish. No, I think we're looking at the king of selfish here. Here he is projecting himself onto the Australian people again. So when he says Aussies are selfish, what he's really saying is, I'm a selfish, greedy cunt. That's what he's trying to tell us. You know, you got to learn how to speak Labor lunatic. Oh, we got that in there twice. Well, I suppose two liars there, so I guess we've got to do it twice, eh? Breaking news: Australians seek urgent advice from PM's ex-wife on how the hell did she get rid of him. Pistol de resistance. Brilliant, fucking brilliant. Shill for Labor. Yeah, anybody who's putting up "I support Albo" is probably a bot account or a complete and utter fucking dribbling mess. You can't figure out the square. Putting squares in the round hole ain't gonna work. They didn't even pass fucking crawling before they became complete retards. Man who owns 6 properties banged his staffer, represents Lakemba. I'm not even sure what that is, and brought back the ISIS brides. Now that's the biggest problem. Claims One Nation supporters are not patriotic. Again, here's another left-hearted Labor piece of shit who's telling you he is not patriotic. Very, very clear and easy to see here, Time to dong the wong. That's fucking gold, isn't it? Sips to that one. We definitely wang the wong number on this one. Should transgenderism be classified as a mental disorder? Fuck yeah. No ifs and buts. It is a mental illness. These people need help, and I really feel sorry for them, because I only imagine what kind of abuse they no doubt suffered to make them like this in the first place. So yeah, they need help. They don't need to be further traumatized. Anyway, little piece of simple advice here that I'm sure everybody can agree with. Anyone with a brain, that is. Not trusting an industry that is being financially dependent on you being sick does not make you a conspiracy theorist, but actually shows critical thinking skills. No shit. Of course, Labor and left-hard fuckwits don't like that kind of thing, you know. Critical thinking, eek, horrible, you know. Don't think, please don't. You might realize, you know, fucking around. So, if you're offended by this podcast or anything else, there's some wonderful tissues. I might see if I can, you know, manufacture some, perhaps sell them to the leftards. But you know, it never occurred to me to sell fucking, you know, Pauline Hanson tissues on the podcast, and until all the trolls started turning up. I'm like, oh, cool, we need this for the trolls. You know, they're obviously upset. You know, and this is why ABC is, you know, on the leftard bandwagon, because they know they're fucked. Time for you to start singing the right tune, ABC, or your funding is gone. Though I think she's that pissed off, I'll never see funding again. The One Nation train, all aboard. We needed it 30 years ago. It's a bit late, but, you know, better late than never, I guess. Everyone is a One Nation voter. They just don't know it yet. Yeah. Thanks. I like inspiring, you know, from the vile leftist governments of Australia have inspired this. You know, you've only got yourself to blame, Greens, Liberal and Labor. You wanted it. You got it. You created a right wing, and here it is. Marian Farquhar warns that Muslim refugees will be less willing to settle in Australia if One Nation gains balance of power. The face you make when your opponents write your election ads for you. Thank you, leftards. Thank you, leftards. You know, thank you. You know, what really we can get the murderers and rapists won't want to come here anymore. Fucking good. I'll take that box. I mean, only someone as stupid as this woman would want more murderers and rapists. Like, didn't you come from a vile, disgusting country in the first place to get away from that shit? Now you want to bring it here? Are you retarded? Fuck me. And another message for the leftards who go, oh, she's 1 billionaire, 1 billionaire. Instead of worrying about how this lady spends her money, you should be worried about how these two fucking idiots are spending your money. Not my words. Like, I know I keep saying I'm going to stop swearing, but the internet made me do it, Mum. Sips. The leftards made me do it. And here's the response to Albo's fuckwittedry where he goes, oh, did she? Did she? Well, she did. Albo claims the last 24 hours worth of donations are fake. He's lying again, and he's been caught. Here's the independent audit that's just been completed that proves the site and the money is rigid-idge. Now, will the PM reveal how much his campaign has raised? Help us fire the liar. Yeah, it's time to get rid of him. You know, like Australia has come heavily on board for the we want him gone before it gets worse. And I mean, there's many pages. You can go to Pauline Hanson's pages and have a look yourself, but right here, the conclusion at the back end here, I think it was the second last page, based on the source code review, SQL query review, inspection of sample production data, and discussions held with Peter Arvol of Advantech Software on the 11th of June, so yesterday. I am satisfied that the fundraising total calculation currently includes only successfully received and validated donation payments. The implementation excludes unpaid pledges, unvalidated transactions, BPay, and bank deposit pledges awaiting reconciliation. The future recurring donation amounts. The displayed fundraiser total, therefore, represents actual funds received at the time of calculation rather than the total value of the donations. The fundraising progress bar is calculated using valid fundraisers. Right, so there it all is, and it basically tells you it's all rigid-idge. I think I read a different part earlier and I've fucked up again. But anyway, you get the point. She's proved it. It's there. Go and have a look on the webpage. Sorry, I'm not having a good day. How to School Morons 101. What is a woman? And it's a funny thing, these fuckwits jumping up and down. Oh, the Ditch the Witch campaign. That's misogynist. How can you claim misogyny when you don't even know what a woman is? You fucking morons. Next thing you know, fucking anything said bad about Elbow, oh, that's misogynistic because he thinks he's a woman. I wouldn't be surprised. So very, very good. You know, very simple, you know, things that we're going to have to start putting into schools, I guess, which is why I won't be fucking sending my kids to school. Yep, elbows lies, one nation votes. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple stuff. You know, people have had a gutful. Nobody's got any faith in the Liberal Party. They ScoMo stood over everybody and didn't lift a finger to help the Australian people, while parasitic vermin in the mainstream media, the UN, and the medical cartels at Pfizer and various other scum-sucking dog prick piece of shit can't think of enough bloody insults for medical industry that tried to murder and kill so many Australians. You know, it's ridiculous. So yeah, the Liberal Party can never be forgiven. I'm astounded that anybody actually thought the Labor Party did anything better, because you could see what happened to Dictator Dan. How the fuck he got back in is beyond me. How the fuck he's still alive is still beyond me too. I would have thought some bikie or something would have gone and shot him by now, but I guess they're all on the payroll for the unions, so they don't want to lose a buck, eh? Anyway, this is dedicated to all you leftards out there, all the trolls. Have a suck, cunt. Fuck off. Yeah, get one up, yeah. Yeah. And by the way, that's the country we want. Get rid of the Fosters. Nobody drinks that shit in this country. You can tell it's been done by a Yank, but yeah, this is the way our country should be. Everyone is entitled to be stupid, but you abuse the privilege. Dedicated to all you leftards out there. And the weather, 1976. It's going to be a wonderful sunny day. It's 30 degrees, 32. We're all going to die in 2026. Fucking hell, 50 years later. And they've managed to take the weather and turn it into a demon. Oh, no. Like, seriously, 30 degrees. That's all. It should be right, that. Nice sunny day. You're going to be called racist whether you save your civilization or not. So you might as well save your civilization. I don't see, there's no way out of it. As soon as I open my mouth, I'm sure that everyone, oh my God, right-wing Nazi. I don't give a shit. Honestly, don't give a fuck. I couldn't give a rodent's rectum what you think of me. If you're a leftard still spouting the racist card, your opinion's not worth shit. You should be in China. Go and be racist in China. And here it is, political party funding since 2020. 480 million to try and save Labor. 580 million in the failed Liberal Party that is just absolutely falling apart, you know, and not for the first time. They had to create a coalition, didn't they, to save themselves the last time. Can they do it again? I doubt so. I think the only way these two are going to survive is if they become the ultimate leftard composition of Liberal and Labor. You know, maybe the National Party might grow a brain and go, you know what, fuck the Liberal Party, we better go join One Nation. But on 25 million, One Nation is soaring ahead. Why? Because they're not full of shit. Well, maybe they are, but possibly not as much as these two. And after decades and decades of these two, why wouldn't you want to try something different? Seriously. You know, 30 years, Pauline Hanson's been bang on. For 30 years, she's been telling us what would happen. I knew 30 years ago, because I could see it myself. I'm like, thank God for Pauline Hanson. Just a damn shame that it's taken the rest of the country so fucking long to wake the fuck up. Election funding, Labor, 36 million. Liberals, 28 million, apparently. So we've got two different figures floating around here. But, you know, this could be... So that's according to Sky News. Albanese's demanded proof One Nation's money was real. The audit just delivered it, while Labor has raised 36 million. So where's their audit? Come on. So where's the Labor audit? Let's see where all their money's coming from, hey? And thus concludes the shit that I found on the internet this week. Well, at least in the space of memes. We've got some more crap that I found though. So, you know, let's have a look. Let's get that out. Let's remove that. Let's video. All right, so here's some more of you know, Jacinta Allen's fan base here with some important messages for the general public.
Abomination, Marquis Street, Guildford. Ran into this while walking the dogs, but that's okay. My fellow councillors want to focus on putting council resources to illegal homeless refugees with alleged drug and alcohol addictions and servicing them rather than servicing the Australian citizens and their own community. This is blocking the footpath, just dumped here, third world ghettos, but you know, this is what the Labor majority and the other councillors in the Unit Party want to vote for. Also voting for free English lessons for people that want to become Australian citizens. The ratepayer shouldn't have to go through increased rates and decreased council meetings, but not being looked after, and this putting up with this kind of third world mess. I'll have it cleaned up. I'm here fighting for local residents because I don't vote to help illegal refugees with alleged drug and alcohol addictions. I vote to help the Australian people and our local community.
Isn't it wonderful? Just so inspiring. We should bring more of these people in. Yeah, they're doing it such a good job. Well done, Leftards. Alrighty then. Let's get this back up. All right. Oh, that looked like a troll, to be honest. Sorry. I'll fix that quickly. Sorry, Yona. I'm going to assume Harps is there to let me know that's Yona's okay. Sorry, mate. It's just to remember him. Harps was saying something was wrong before, so hang on. I got myself a little muddled again. Account settings. Let's get that back. Sorry, buddy. I'll get in there and fix that. It took me a little while to figure it out the other day, or actually today, to try and figure out how to do this. Unmute. Sorry, mate. Got it wrong. Cool. Thanks, Harps. I fixed it. Sorry, Yona. You're back. Sorry about that. It's actually, I haven't seen many trolls. I've seen a few things being, taken care of by the kids. I'm sure it's really inspiring to know that a 15-year-old kid's sorting all you fuckwits out. When you're not disturbing the show at all you're doing is raising the view count. So thanks heaps to the trolls. Yeah. Yeah, you racist bastard. Sorry. Alrighty then. So where was I? Was bringing in some more videos, weren't we? Okay. So some elbow lies and spins I've dubbed this one. So let's have a look at what this is.
Before the election that you would not touch negative gearing or capital gains.
Well, we've changed our position. Oh, we've changed our position. We've changed our position. That's why we've been up front. I'm up front about that. We've changed our position. This is an example of what puts people off politics. A change to position. We did change our position. And you know what puts people off politics? We said we wouldn't change it. We did. It changed our position. That sort of word game. We have changed our position. Word game. Politics isn't about word games. Word game. And that's why we're up front. Word game. Up front about why we've changed our position. Such a large change. Substance of the change. The range of the change is serious change. Change our position. We changed our position. We changed our position. We've changed our position. This is a government that can change our position. Just like we've changed our position. Common sense change. And changes were made, not changed. This must change.
Australia's changed.
We've said that very clearly.
Does change translate to lie in government language?
Yes, it was a lie. This change is a lie. We have changed our position.
We know this government's pretty incompetent.
We're upfront about that. We're being upfront about that. I'm upfront about that.
And pretty dishonest, frankly.
Why have you chosen to lie to Australians?
Well, we have changed our position. We have changed our position. Word game. This bloke thinks he's above everyone. Oh, we've changed our position.
No, how would you describe those statements now?
We've changed our position and why.
When you say you changed your position, is that a concession that you lied?
Yes. It shows how arrogant this bloke is. It was a lie. No, we've changed our position. It is a lie. We've changed our position because we have changed our position. We're making that change. We have changed our position. Make the change. We have changed our position. That's what it shows.
This Prime Minister said that his word was his bond, and it's just turned out that his word is not worth a pinch of shit.
Could not agree more with him. Could not agree more. It's painfully obvious, isn't it? Even to the most left-hearted fucking moron in the world, surely they can see this guy's fucking, a couple of sangers short. But let's come into something here. Australia's woke military allows trans. Okay, let's do that. This is something I had from a while back, actually. The noticer. So this is another example of, you know, how leftards want to see our country destroyed. Australia's woke military allows trans recruits to take fitness test of chosen gender. Really? So you couldn't get in the military as a bloke. You can get in there pretending to be a woman. Yes, very good, very good. The increasingly woke Australian Defence Force is allowing recruits who claim to be transgender or non-binary to take fitness tests based on their affirmed gender rather than their biological sex. What could go wrong? You know, you can just imagine these fuckwits running across the fucking battlefield, you know, arms to the teeth in a fucking dress and a bloody set of high heels. Oh no, I broke my fingernail. Please stop shooting. Fuck me. This is ridiculous. The radical leftist gender guidelines are laid out in the ADF documents obtained by under Freedom of Information by the Daily Telegraph, which also revealed defense personnel who claim to be transgender can participate in ADF sport in their chosen gender. Oh my fucking God. It's ridiculous. And warn commanders not to offend homosexual members. Fuck off, you know, like, I mean, as if we don't have enough problems in the world. The documents further state that transgender and non-binary ADF members may be prevented from deployment and participation in joint exercises commanded by allied forces and are barred from the AUKUS nuclear submarine program due to the US military's anti-DIA policies. Well done, America. I'm glad you guys have got a fucking brain. The defense inclusion. So, I mean, we're bringing useless fucking soldiers into the situation. We can't put them anywhere. They won't work. The US ain't going to work with a bunch of fucking mentally deranged lunatics who are more likely to blow everybody else up, including themselves, than actually provide any sort of support to the soldiers. The Defense Inclusion Guidance Gender Diverse People Report states that transgender applicants are to attempt the pre-entry fitness assessment aligned with their affirmed gender. Affirmed by, no, shouldn't it be confirmed? A confirmed gender, you know, like, we know you're a bloke, you got a dick, for fuck's sake. And those who claim to be changing sex can attempt the assessment aligned with the gender to which they are transitioning. Again, like I said, you can't make it as a bloke in the defense force, so pretend to be a woman, just like they do in sports. You know, it's just disgraceful, utterly disgraceful. It is a mental illness. In the absence of a non-gender specific test. Wow, an absence of a non-gender specific test. What? Are you fucking retarded? The test was when you were born. You had a dick or you had a vagina. That's all there is to it. You don't need a fucking test. By God. Non-binary applicants may make a choice, but is best aligned with service and job preference. ADF members are to adhere to the physical fitness standards of their affirmed gender. All right. So what does this do? It just sets the bar, and I guess anything that's, you know, you can just see him just wanting to kick women out of the fucking force altogether. You know, ultimately is where I feel like this has got to go, you know. But anyway, it just makes no sense. None of this shit makes any sense. This includes commentary around bathroom use or intentional or ongoing misgendering using incorrect names. This is just fucking retarded, for fuck's sake. So women, if you thought you might be safe in the military, turns out you're not. You got to have these queers there too. They've got to infect every part of society. They're like the yellow crazy ants I learned about the other day. You know, like they're parasitic by nature. They consume everything in fucking sight, and they're not afraid to take over other nests, other places, and invade. They are a parasite, you know. And much like the yellow crazy ant, I think we need to get some pesticide onto this. The revelations come from the ADF personnel marched in uniform in Sydney gay and lesbian Mardi Gras earlier this year. The Prime Minister Anthony Albanese appointed as Lieutenant General Susan Coyle, who has delivered far left Aboriginal land acknowledgements before speeches at the first female chief of army. These people are insane. This woman does not belong in the fucking defense force. This is not defending the country. This is destroying it. The ADF regularly celebrates pro-LGBTC bullshit initiatives and promotes transgender lunacy personnel. And last month announced it was holding its second annual queer short film. Oh, wow. So that sounds exciting. Festival in naval bases across the country for International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, Intersexism, and Transphobia. Oh my God, that's becoming just as bad as the rest of the LGBT, isn't it? It's fucking retarded. Utterly retarded. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's hope there's not a war, because we're fucked. Our military is completely fucked. The only people who want to join it now want to dress up like fucking women. It's fucking retarded. It's Dame Edma's friggin' army now. What was once perceived as a ridiculous joke has now become a reality. It is fucking retarded beyond all belief. So anyway, somebody mentioned the third world declared, Australia declared a third world nation. It is not officially declared as third world nation, not officially, but everybody in Australia is calling it that. It is generally considered a first world country due to its high standard of living. Are you fucking retarded? What high standard of living? And a developed economy. What? You mean a desolate, decaying economy, right? However, some discussions suggest that Australia faces economic challenges that could threaten its status if not addressed. Wow. There you go. Economic challenge. Heavily reliance on commodities and raw materials. Need for advanced technology and high value manufacturing. Short-term political thinking affecting long-term economic strategy. Political thinking. It's actual thinking. Be good. Maybe the political part should be removed. First world countries with capitalist economies and high living standards. Yep, we have communist economy and low living standards thanks to third world nations with high poverty rates. Yep, that's Australia. Economic instability. Yep, that's Australia. And a lack of basic necessities. I think we kind of qualify as a third world nation. Well, certainly. Thanks, Leftards. I hope you're proud of yourselves. But here's the real quencher of the shit I seen today. Non-citizens unlawfully held in immigration will be able to sue the federal government for compensation following a significant judgment by the nation's top court. The High Court is fucked. This is ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. The High Court on Wednesday unanimously dismissed claims from the Commonwealth. It had immunity from compensation claims brought by detainees. These people don't even live in this country. How can they have any fucking rights? It's bullshit. The decision was paved the way for detainees to receive millions of dollars in compensation payments from the federal government. Congratulations, guys. You completely fucked up here. These people aren't even Australians, and they're fucking stealing our money thanks to a corrupt government and a fucked court. The case was brought by Australian citizen, Austrian citizen, Safwat Abdel Hadi, who doesn't sound very Austrian, but I'm not that clued on, but I'm guessing he's not really an Austrian by descent, but anyway, who was held in immigration detention and his visa was cancelled on character grounds. So he should have been fucking removed, hey? He later sued for compensation for his time in detention following a November 2023 ruling by the High Court in the NZYQ case, which found it unlawful to detain non-citizens when it was impossible to deport them. Well, if it's impossible to deport them, military need target practice. Just an observation. The High Court's ruling on Wednesday could pave the way for more than 300 people who were released from indefinite detention in the NZYQ cohort to sue for compensation. In the judgment, Chief Justice Stephen Gallagher, along with Justices Jacqueline Gleeson and Robert Beach-Jones, said immunity could not be granted to the Commonwealth when transgression had occurred. How is this transgression? We got rid of somebody who shouldn't be here. There's no transgression here. They should have been returned. And why can't they return to Austria? That's the bit I don't understand. Like, apparently it's come from Austria and they can't be, like, the whole situation, they can't be returned. Why? It's not my problem. I don't give a shit if they're going to be persecuted. They shouldn't have come here in the first place. This isn't a safe haven for fucking criminals. If accepted, the novel common law defense purpose of the Commonwealth would purport to confer protection on Commonwealth officers for unlawful acts they undertake. Spokesman for the federal government said the ruling was being examined. Fucking hope so. The Commonwealth notes the decision of the High Court and is carefully considering the judgment and its implications, spokeswoman said. The Asylum Seeker Resource Centre welcomed the legal win, saying it extended far beyond Mr. Abdul Hadi's case, which is a huge friggin' problem. No more asylum seekers. I think it's time for the Navy to just blow them out of the friggin' water when no one's looking. And who gives a shit if they are looking? In fact, we should get the film crew out there, show the world what happens, and they'll stop fucking doing it. It's pretty straightforward stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is the defense of our country here. The military should be shooting them on sight. Fuck this refugee shit. It's got nothing to do with us. Not my problem. I don't give a shit. I'm not paying for it. I've had enough. So, but how's this making people feel? You've heard how I feel, which is, obviously really happy about it. Why wouldn't you be, hey? So there's another lady here who also had something else to say.
Australians out there are furious that they have to work 3 days out of 5 to hand that money over to the government so they can not only squander it, but now pay tens of millions of dollars to vicious, convicted criminals who are not citizens that we don't want in this country and that we can't get rid of because Labor didn't fix the legislation before the High Court handed down the EDZYQ decision. Now we're facing tens of millions of dollars in damages because it was unlawful detention, and we have to pay these people, this scum, these foreigners who are not citizens, who are criminals that we don't actually want in this country. We have to go to work and work these massively long hours for more and more and more taxes. And then you wake up to the fact that we're going to be handing over tens of millions of dollars to these people that contribute absolutely nothing to our country, to our society, and shouldn't even be here. I mean, the guy who's just run this new matter in the High Court, where it is said that it's, the High Court has now cleared the way so he can sue the government for unlawful detention. It's saying that, he couldn't be deported because he has a thrombosis condition and he can't fly. Put him on a naval transport and take him back to whatever hellhole he came from. We need serious review of our citizenship, migration and immigration acts. When someone cannot be here, when they're not a citizen, I don't really care if they've not got any papers. If they're not a citizen, they need to be taken back to whatever hellhole or whatever continent they originated from. First military transport out of here, whether it's a flight or a boat because suddenly, they've got a medical condition and they can't fly, but I'm sure that they flew over here with no problems. This is an absolute betrayal of the Australian people that the government has allowed this to happen, that people are under so much financial pressure. Criminal grifters who are now going to be taking tens of millions of dollars out of the taxpayer coffers because they were held in unlawful detention. What a disgrace. Labor's a disgrace. I mean, every day I get up, like you, look at the headlines and think, how are you going to screw us today? How are you going to stick your hand into our pockets and take even more money out today from what you did yesterday? Vote this government out. Remember, only 1 in 3 people voted for Labor. Preferences are going to be important. We could take these commies down and take our country back. Australia first, Australia always.
Yep, I think she summed that up pretty well. Anyone disagree? I'll call it unanimous. Yeah, we all agree. It's time for this shit to end. We have had a gutful. So what else did I find? Let's have a look. Clot shot kills 73%. Wow. Let's have a look what that is. That sounds interesting, doesn't it?
0.9% of those deaths were from the vaccine. We did do a systematic review of 325 peer-reviewed autopsy cases. We looked at all of them, adjudicated all of them, were they from the vaccine or not. Unfortunately, yes, they are deadly. FDA Class 1 recall should have happened years ago. It's exceeded past vaccine withdrawal limits by like hundreds of thousands of percent. About 4 independent estimates of American COVID-19 vaccine deaths. It ranges from about 470,000 from Pfizer alone up to 840,000 American deaths from the COVID-19 vaccines. We have to remember that is rivaling the American soldier death toll of World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and the Iraq War combined.
Disgraceful. Utterly disgraceful that this has been allowed to continue for so bloody long. Again, I'm still lost for words if people were ever dumb enough to fucking queue up for it. Like, fuck me. Here we go. A little bit of everybody, Australia's favorite politician.
Royal Commission to talk about anti-Muslim hate or anti-Palestinian racism or any of that. So how does the Royal Commission expect to address social cohesion with just a very narrow view being heard by the Commission? Like, can you explain to me how you expect to address social cohesion? There does seem to be a real flaw in the terms of reference.
Oh, real flaw. Yeah. Wow. If that's the biggest problem in the country, shit, I think we'd be fine. Unfortunately, it's far from the biggest fucking problem. Islam is one of the biggest problems. I swear, the religion needs to be declared a cult and banned in this country, and all mosques removed. And anybody who wants to worship that shit, go back to the country you fucking come from. It's that fucking simple. I don't see why this is such a hard thing to deal with. It's really straightforward. Let's send them home. It's time for it to go. So here's a bit of Jared Rennick, another one that's certainly worth considering in our federal government. Any government.
Jared Rennick, People First Party. One thing that really grinds my gears is the double standards between tariffs and withholding taxes. Now, you'll often hear the globalists talk about how bad tariffs are, but they never talk about withholding taxes and what's effectively a reverse tariff on the fact that the rate of withholding taxes on profits sent offshore is so much lower than the company tax on profits kept here. Now, you would think that any politician who represents their country would want to tax profits sent offshore at a much higher rate than profits kept here in Australia. But our politicians have signed tax treaties that do the complete opposite. They tax profits sent offshore at a much lower rate than the company tax here in Australia. So you take our tax treaties with the USA, there's a withholding tax rate of 5% on royalties. Now, that is clearly much lower than the 30 cents in a dollar that you pay on profits kept here. So what that does is you end up with companies like Netflix, that I'll talk about and quote here with this clip, basically sending off nearly 100% of the profits that they earn, or at least the earnings they earn here in Australia, and our tax office does nothing about it. So Netflix worldwide operating profit ratio is around 28%, yet here in Australia it's only 1.4%. And you've really got to ask yourself, why isn't the tax office actually stopping this offshore tax evasion? So People First actually has a solution for this. We will actually apply a withholding tax rate of 25 cents in a dollar on any profits sent offshore in order to stop offshore profit shifting. I know a lot of people get upset about what goes on with the oil and gas companies, but as I've said many times before, that is just the tip of the iceberg on the billions of dollars that gets sent offshore every year because our tax office and our politicians don't have a clue how to do their job.
Pretty straightforward stuff, isn't it? Like he's really got his head around a lot of the problems in this country, and it makes a hell of a lot more sense than most of the politicians. I rank him higher than One Nation, that's for sure. That's my thoughts, personally. But I think he's level-headed enough to get the job done. So anyway, here's a look at some more stupidity.
I don't have that figure in front of me.
You said there's been $114 billion of savings across your budgets. Mm-hmm. Is that net savings or gross savings?
Well, it's savings and reprioritising. So we're saving and then essentially to offset new priorities.
So you're saying that's net of spending decisions? You reduced expenditure by $114 billion?
Yeah, it's gross figure.
That's gross, right. What is the net figure?
I don't have that available.
Is it positive?
Fuck, it's hard to watch. Like this is our government? Seriously? This is what passes for government in this country? This is fucking retarded.
Is it positive or negative?
Well, I just don't have that figure in front of me.
Has the savings you've made been greater than or less than the new spending that you've initiated?
It is $114 billion in savings and reprioritisations.
But if you spend every dollar that you saved, it's not a save, is it? That's just spending it on something else.
Well, that can be the way you twist it.
When you say on radio, as you did last week, we've found $114 billion in savings across a number of budgets, I think the public will think that means you've saved $114 billion. But if you've gone and spent that and some more, you haven't saved $114 billion.
No, we have.
How have you saved it if you've gone and spent it?
But we have. We just have, okay? We just have. Fucking retards. These people are utter morons. This is what's running our country into the ground. That's what they're doing. They're running the country into the ground. It's that simple. They don't even understand how they're doing it. They're fucking mentally ill.
Claimed is a Muslim.
So this is one that was sent to me by a very good friend. I won't name names. Like, oh, well, it's Darren. Darren's, he's a good friend. He sent this to me, and I thought, well, you know what? He and I have been talking about how fucked the royal family is for a long fucking time. It's actually a lot deeper than this. But, for those of you still not quite sure just how bad the royal family is.
King Charles, you've claimed, is a Muslim.
No.
Or you think he's a Muslim?
I've been told
I don't want to misquote you, by
off
the way.
camera that people have said they believe that he is.
Okay.
He's compromised big time.
He has to be.
He's compromised. You only have to go back, look through history. Halal in the Duchy 2010, you've got him taking money from Qataris, Saudis. You've got him as the patron for the Islamic Centre in Oxford. He has watered down over time his alignment with Christianity. So I'm not saying he's on a prayer mat 5 times a day, but he is.
And look, seriously, I hated going to church once a fucking week. I couldn't imagine praying 5 times a day. Like, talk about mental brainwash. I remember looking up how their fucking prayers work for the Islamic faith, and I'm just like, this is the biggest pile of brainwashing I have ever seen. To devote so much of your time every day to brainwashing yourself is something fucking different. That's out there. It's insane.
Is not advocating for the Christian faith. He is not advocating for Christianity. He is not defending Christianity.
He's defender of the faith, isn't
and
he?
he's defender of the faith.
Apparently.
Yeah, our defender of the faith, our defender of the Commonwealth. Like he is our direct line to God, and there he is sucking up to the wrong God. Something's not right there, ladies and gentlemen. He's supposed to be their defender of the faith of the Church of fucking England, for Christ's sake. What is this shit? You don't, obviously the elitist scum didn't have to wipe out the British bloodline like they did the Russians. No, they got them on the hook instead. It's ridiculous. Oh, by the way, for those of you who aren't quite up with that, I highly recommend you go over to my Twitter page and have a look at the 100-year-old book that I put up a couple of weeks ago. Absolute gold. Absolute gold. I can't do anything on it because what it reveals, it's painfully obvious. I think Kerry's onto it. she's bang onto it. That's exactly it. That is exactly it, Kerry. Well done. Nothing royal about the royal family. Rothschilds have had the breeding rights with the royal family for a very long time. There you go. I didn't say it. Kerry said it, but I'm inclined to agree. She's bang on as far as I'm concerned. It's rather undeniable. Yep, I agree. Just fucking lie. Speaking of lying scumbags, our fucking council's managed to do it again. So, would have been better off with Troy Thompson, perhaps, one might wonder. Townsville Mayor Nick Tometto under police investigation for alleged assault. Well done. The amount of rumors about this guy circulating around town are quite astounding. I've heard all sorts of things about perhaps untoward sexual activities happening in public bathrooms or in pub bathrooms, perhaps. He obviously seems to be having a bit of trouble with family issues because he certainly didn't campaign that way. The guy's, I'd say put in there by Chris Foley. To make sure that the corruption stays. And let's face it, Townsville City Council is possibly one of the most corrupt councils in Australia. And, that's why they had to get rid of Troy Thompson, because he was going to start straightening things out and pointing out how bad it was. That's what they were afraid of. Not just the Townsville City Council, but everybody who's in bed with them. That's the real issue here. But anyway, let's have a look at what Dickie Boy here has done for himself. Police have confirmed they are investigating an alleged assault involving Townsville Mayor Nick Tometto on Magnetic Island. Queensland Police Service, in a brief statement issued on Wednesday afternoon, said it was investigating reports of an assault on the tourism island on Sunday. Initial investigations indicate an altercation occurred between the 42-year-old man and a 28-year-old man at a Nellie Bay Road business. And also, like to point out, we'd have to be very careful about how much we can trust this, because the conspiracy theorist Cameron Bates had to wrote this, but obviously he's not allowed to be to play with the crayons by himself at the Townsville Bulletin anymore, because he needed the help of Dan Hill and Josh Mercier apparently to write, this little bit of dribble. So where were we? Our QPS spokesman said the investigation was ongoing. No charges have been laid. Mr. I can take a photo of myself and convince the biggest morons in town that I'm doing a good job. He's doing a shocker of a job. The only good thing he's doing, is basically what he's supposed to do. Is make sure corruption stays corrupt. So earlier this week, Mr. Demetto told the Townsville Bulletin he didn't believe he had been involved in a brawl at Nomads, especially, I guess, if you're that pissed, you wouldn't know. If office was contacted for comment on Wednesday, so straight away he didn't believe. Isn't interesting? But the police are investigating, so somebody believes it. A number of witnesses have told Townsville Bulletin that newly elected mayor was involved in an altercation during which time a man was struck in the face. How do you not? I don't believe I was in a bar fight. Really? You don't remember that? I mean, it doesn't matter how pissed you are. Generally, you remember that, unless, of course, you're on the losing side of that. And I don't see photos of him getting around bashed to the fuck house. I guess his small man syndrome must have got the best of him at the time. Townsville MP Madam Bailey might be a better term for it, but because he's not much use to anyone, he's liberal fucking shill, who is not accused of any wrongdoing, was also present when the incident occurred. Interesting, isn't it? It is understood the complaint, which is yet to be investigated and is not a criminal charge, was laid by a member of the Townsville MP Adam Bailey's staff. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Bit of a dissension amongst the corrupt ranks, perhaps. Mr. Bailey attended a Thank a First Responder Day breakfast event at the CQ University campus on Flinders Street on Wednesday morning, but left before he could field questions from the media. I wonder why. No comment, he said as he left the event. The first-term MP issued a statement on Wednesday afternoon. I always take the well-being of my staff very seriously, and they are properly supported. So, local government minister Anne Lee, who was outspoken against disgraced former mayor Troy Thompson, said the incident was a matter for the Office of Independent Assessor. Really? They were happy to crucify Troy Thompson, but now they're going to kick back and do nothing. Wow. And it's typical conspiracy theorist writing when they have to say, disgraced former mayor. He wasn't disgraced. You guys did the biggest hit job I've ever seen on a politician in my life, because you defend your own slavery, you dirty dog scumbags at the Bulletin. You're the lowest form of journalism I've ever seen. Lowest form of writing. Actually, you should definitely check out that book that I mentioned, because what I thought was really interesting is how he refers to historians with the greatest insult of all. They were nothing more than reporters. What a horrible thing to say to anybody who actually has the ability to write. You're little more than a journalist. Shitty surfaced skimming garbage. Don't look deep into anything. Fuck no, we might actually find the corruption. You might actually find the cause of the problem and actually serve humanity instead of cooking up conspiracy theories, Cameron? You fucking tossbag. Treasurer David Jacinti in Townsville on Wednesday was asked about a physical altercation between Townsville mayor and a staffer from Adam Bailey's office. Look, I've just read the reports in the Townsville Bulletin. I'll let that be a matter for the mayor to discuss, so I won't be adding any comment to it. The LNP politician was asked why Mr. Bailey appeared to be avoiding the media again, that the allegations related to his staff. No, look, I'll let the mayor, he's got those matters to address. I'll let him take care of that, and that's appropriate in the circumstances. Interesting. Everybody had something to say about fucking Troy Thompson, but boy, are they real quiet to defend their chosen little fucking troll. I think maybe he's been hanging out with Les Walker too much, because the same fucking thing happened with him. Something about, being a local MP and a member of the Townsville City Council that seems to invoke violence in people around them. Strange enough, you know. Good old punchies, you know. Can't handle the fact that we're all calling them out, perhaps. Who knows? But there you go. Good old Townsville fucking City Council managed to pull it off again. And, you know, how the hell Cameron Bates is still allowed to be a reporter after the horrific conspiracy theory he conjured up that Blackboard was Troy Thompson. By God, what a moron. You are the dumbest reporter. And I mean, being a reporter makes you pretty fucking dumb to start with. But the dumbest reporter, congratulations. Fuckwit of the Year award for you. By God. Little golf clap for the handicapped. Anyway, what else have we got here? So, here's a little bit of a comedy segue. The truth about Labor.
In around 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm very excited. We've decided to name him Bill, like Dollar Bill.
Hi, my name is Anthony. Our baby is going to be named Unity and should arrive in about 2 weeks. And I'm very excited, as is the father.
No, I'm fucking not. I don't even know how the fuck this happened.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. There you vote left, you'll have nothing left. I hope you're all really enjoying it out there because, by God, isn't it wonderful? You know, I mean, we're all broke. Everything's totally fucked. They've ruined our country. There's bloody Muslim terrorists everywhere, but at least we still haven't lost our Australian sense of humour. Gold, isn't it? I don't honestly think that One Nation is the be all and end all, that's for sure, but shit, it couldn't possibly worse than Labor, could they? I don't know. You know, a friend of mine did, g'day Richo, how you going out there, brother? Did send me a text, you know, pointing out that she's been to the wall of submissiveness and to Mar-a-Lago, and we know who's been funding Trump. So, you know, like I said, they're creating a right-wing insurgency for a reason. So be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I'd take One Nation over Liberal and Labor, that's for sure. But I don't know that the One Nation we're going to get is the One Nation we were offered and needed 30 years ago. That's my biggest concern. And I have a bad habit of being right about things. It's painful. It hurts, you know, especially for those who can't handle me constantly pointing these things out. But anyway, speaking of complete fuckwitted leftards, let's have a look at the stir as all you naughty Australians have been supporting One Nation. Here's some leftards going nuts.
Make sure that Pauline Hanson knows that there are so many people in Western Australia who reject her hate-filled and divisive brand of politics.
Yeah, okay, a handful of left-hearted woke fuckwits.
Protest is important. It's really important for people to come out and express their opinions in many, many sorts of ways.
I have to wonder how many white people were raped at this rally. Just wondering, you know. And again, they're picking all the women. Isn't that interesting?
We could see more attacks on immigrants. We could see attacks on abortion rights. On the
attacks on immigrants. What we're seeing is attacks from immigrants, you fucking retard. And as a woman, you should be really fucking concerned. But look, she's got socialist written on her shirt. So we know this one is mentally ill.
We could see attacks on abortion rights, on the environment. And if she gets more seats, who knows how much they can grow and make changes.
Attacks on the environment? Nobody's fucking the environment like you leftards bulldozing so much shit for your fucking bloody battery farms and solar farms and wind farms and shit. You don't have any idea how much of the country, the environment has been destroyed for your left-hearted dream. You guys are so hook, line and sinker.
Again, we don't want to see Trump-style politics in Australia.
Wow, we don't want to see Trump-style politics. Like, they've only got a couple of lines. Racist, Trump-style politics. Yep, I'm out of options, you know. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. They just broke racist into a whole bunch of different categories, didn't they? Fucking moron. Absolute morons, you know. And every one of those women should be on our side here because their lives and their vaginas are in jeopardy. Fuck me. These people are insane. Like, do you have any self-preservation skills at all? You know, because this is what they're letting into the country. Let's have a look at what's happening in Britain, eh?
illegal migrant paedophile has received less time in prison than 3 men who were arrested for violently protesting because of the actions of that same illegal migrant. Those 3 local men from the Epping area were arrested and now have been sentenced for violent disorder during a protest at Epping Hotel over the sick and vile actions of the Ethiopian illegal migrant Hadush Kibatu, who, of course, was found guilty of touching and trying to kiss a schoolgirl in Epping and a further attempted sexual assault of an older woman. Kibatu was sentenced to just 1 year in prison. Rightfully, locals in Epping were furious at...
Oh, sorry, Nick Beck, that is gold. Vagina rights matter. Badge lives matter. That's nice. Love your work. Well done, love. Well done.
Kibatu's actions and their...
Oh, that's the end of the fucking video anyway. Oh, Nick, you come out with some real pearlers, I tell you. All right, so left-hearted moronic journalist who probably spent more time in front of the mirror in the morning than she did thinking about intelligent questions, questioning Pauline Hanson.
Gina's jet.
Seriously? That's the
Why
question?
didn't you fly Gina's jet?
Dumb question. Yep, dumb question. This ditzy blonde should have stayed in school a little bit longer, I think, but maybe staying in school was the problem in the first place.
Did you fly cattle class? I'm not answering your stupid questions, right? Get some credibility about you as a journalist and learn respect as well.
Yep. Fuck you, Channel 9. He's a fuckwits. Fucking idiots. What a dumb fucking question. Absolute moron. Could have asked an intelligent question. Could have asked anything, you know. Could have asked what she had for lunch. It would have been a fucking better question than that dumb shit. What a moron. With a capital burp.
That need to change is the mass migration into the country. Pull back the numbers on that. Get housing for people.
So, you know, I've seen a lot of leftards get around, oh, fucking people, One Nation is so stupid. They don't even know what the policies are. Well, here you go. For all you left-hearted fuckwits, and perhaps if there is anybody out there with a brain who doesn't know, here's a little bit of help for the leftards.
The 2 things that need to change is the mass migration into the country. Pull back the numbers on that. Get housing for people. You've got over 130,000 homeless. I'd shut down the climate change department. That would save about $30 billion a year. Let's get their coal-fired power stations going again. Kick them in. Bring down the prices of power. Why all these handouts all the time? Why $600 million paid to Papua New Guinea to do with the football? Australians first. And I want to see the money spent wisely. And cut the public service. Under 50,000 people. Under this government, we've got 216,000 people in public service. So if you cut all the regulations, we won't need as many public servants. And I'll tell you another thing too. They won't be on this 600,000-700,000 a year. And I'd get rid of the Sex Discrimination Commission altogether. She can't even determine what a male or female is. As far as I'm concerned, there'll be no more funding to the ABC. NDIS needs to be reined in, so that's out of control as well. One flag, there won't be 3 on the floor of Parliament. I made that quite clear. There won't be any more welcome to country. We will not be divided anymore in this nation, and it is one nation.
Yep, I think she's done that pretty good. You know, pretty straightforward. She said just 2 things, but it seemed like a whole bunch of things. Fundamentally, you could probably bring it all into one thing. We're going to end left-tardation. Problem solved. It's very, very straightforward. But, you know, the socialist predators that, you know, are jumping up and down about common sense, you know, were sadly given more attention than they deserved. It wasn't just that stupid fucking little video I threw at you before. There's also the moronic mainstream media.
Their presence known. They're echoing boos right now, which may mean Senator Hanson has just arrived. These protests organised by the WA Socialists and the WA Greens.
Yep, nothing says Nazi quite like socialist, does it? Well done, Nazis. Well done.
Protesters travelling from across the country to be here tonight, holding signs saying racism won't pay the rent.
Racism won't pay the rent. Neither will the fucking migrants, you fuckwit.
And hope, not hate.
Hope, not hate. Well, I hope You all pack your bags and get the fuck out of a decent Australian country. You should be in China. That's where you belong. You want socialism? Go and live in China. They've already got it there. Apparently, it's wonderful. You keep saying that. So why don't you move to a socialist country? You love it so much, and fuck off and leave the rest of us alone. You bloody twats. Absolute lunatics. Go and live on Epstein Island, maybe. That's obviously the kind of fucking people you are, isn't it? You're all bloody sexually perverted, twisted sociopaths. A whole lot of yous. You know? And have a look at fucking Cockknocker from bloody over in the UK. I'm just going through these systematically. Sorry, it's a little bit jumbled today, but, you know, it's just this way I make sure I get everything covered. Like I said, too many painkillers today to deal with bullshit. So good old Keir Starmer, fuckwit of the year. Here he is telling us all about how the rights of protesters and stuff when it comes to the Black Lives Matter bullshit.
I was shocked and angered at the killing.
No. I wasn't shocked. He was a criminal, and he unfortunately died while being detained. Perhaps if he wasn't a criminal, he wouldn't have been detained to his final demise.
Of George Floyd and the response of President Trump and the US authorities to the peaceful protests, to people rightly demanding justice, has been an affront to humanity.
People rightly demanding justice, right, in their country because, you know, apparently a criminal was unfortunately a victim of a bit heavy-handedness from the police. You know, that's how I would describe that, pretty straightforward. You know, it's police abuse, if anything, abuse of powers, perhaps. You know, I mean, the guy held a gun to a fucking pregnant woman's belly. Wonderful stand-up human being, and they pick that as their poster boy for Black Lives Matter. You are fucking retarded. Now we've got people being beheaded by Muslims. Let's have a look at what fuckwit's got to say.
In calling for calm and determined to restore order, support the police and all those on the front line, and ensure that justice is done.
I'm pretty sure those people want justice to be done. If the problem is your shit government isn't fucking providing that, you lying piece of shit. You want to jump up and down and tell everybody it was okay for people to protest over a criminal, and now a criminal is, you know, again, running amok. You're on the side of the criminal. It's pretty straight. That's the consistency I see here. He supported George Floyd, who was a criminal, and now he's supporting a fucking lunatic who wants to run around beheading people. Yes, these leftards love crime. They love violent criminals. It's all there is to it. And you can see it by the way they act. They love it. They are sick, perverted, satanistic, fucking child-eating, baby-eating scumbags. A lot of them. Every last one of these friggin' politicians, if they are comfortably living in their seat, then there's something wrong. Scum. UN Agenda 2030, I've called this. It'll be a surprise for me because I did this a couple of weeks ago and I can't remember what it is. Let's find out together. Goal 1. End poverty in all forms. Translation. Redistribute wealth and resources. Oh, sorry, that went a bit fast even for me. Resources to make super rich wealthier and the middle class poorer. Yep. 2-tier system, poor and super rich. Goal 1. So the UN version is end hunger, achieve food security and improved nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Let's translate that into human. Increase the use of drought, flood and aluminum resistant GM crops fortified with synthetic vitamins and minerals, creating disease and causing depopulation. This is a pretty good video, wouldn't you agree? It's pretty straightforward in telling us exactly what needs to be done. Goal 3 from the UN globalist scumbags and the pedophile cult: ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Translation into English and onto human think. Mandate vaccinations for all children and adults, medicate children with behavioral issues, and assign every child a named person, removing parental freedom, privacy, and responsibility. Yes, that sounds about right. Goal 4 of the UN globalist pedo cult: ensure inclusive and equitable equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. It's just psychobabble bullshit, isn't it? So let's translate it back in English. Social engineering children to conform to politically correct agendas, standardize and dumb down the curriculum to produce adults incapable of independent thought. I think they've already managed to achieve that in a lot of cases. Like, I mean, just have a look at Reporters, for instance. Perfect example of it. Achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. What about the men? How is that achieving gender equality by empowering women, all women and girls? So what it translates to mean, of course, because it makes no fucking sense. Even that left-hearted babble makes no fucking sense because it instantly contradicts itself. Promote LGBT bullshit and feminist agendas. Marginalize families, heterosexuality, men and boys. Yep, that seems to be pretty good, you know. And what wonderful things, you know, feminist ideology is, you know, like it never crushed a little boy at all as he listening to his mother fucking rave about, fucking men this, fucking men that, because she's a fucking moronic bra burner, and crushed a poor little boy, had him crying on the couch one day, you know. Thanks, leftards. Fuck you. Sorry, I missed that one. Ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Wow, a lot of things I can consider for sanitation, mostly the UN. Translation into a human. All water controlled by corporations, local government or state, including rivers and wells on private land. Yes, control, 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 and more control under the guise of bullshit. Some more crap. Goal 7 from the pedo cult. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Really? Then let's start releasing some of the patents that of technology that provides free energy. But we wouldn't want to do that now, would we? Translation into human terms. Increase taxes on traditional fuels and institute usage caps for every household, monitored by health-destroying smart meters. Love this one. You'll never guess what happened today. We fucking wrong button. Went outside to notice Townsville City Council little fucking orange cone of fuck was sitting out front of our water meter as water is spraying down. You know, didn't hear shit from the council. Nobody knocked on the door. Nobody gave us a call or anything to let us know. They just plop a fucking, you know, thing out there. Water's pissing out. Why? Because the fucking morons installed a fucking smart meter. And the smart meter's so fucking dumb, it can't even fucking operate. The bloody plastic cap's broken off it. It's not even a year fucking old. And now it's pissing water. So when old mate turned up just before this podcast to fix it, we lost water, you know, I wandered out to say g'day, and he's, so you want to know why your water's gone? I'm like, wow, you know, I kind of figured it had something to do with a stupid smart meter, am I right? He's gone, yep. Can you put the old one back? I never authorized this. I never accepted it. I never fucking wanted it. And the old one ran for fucking decades, didn't skip a beat. This piece of shit's not even a year old and it's fucked already. Fucking, can you do me a favor and go back and fucking shoot the politicians? For fuck's sake, these people are fucked. He's like, you'll get no arguments out of me. Even the Townsville City Council workers hate the fucking council. Fucking brilliant. Gotta love it. Anyway, let's get back to the wonderful bullshit that we've got here. So goal 7, and that's right, smart meters. That's where we were. So we're up to goal 8, aren't we? Goal 8, promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth. What a word salad of utter shit. That is a shit salad. Well, welcome to leftist breakfast menu. There's a shitty leftard salad there. Full and productive employment and decent work for all. What do you classify as a decent work? What's that? Please explain. You know, translation, mandate minimum wages, compliance and certification. Yep, that sounds about right. And introduce employment quotas that discriminate against the best qualified person for the job and put some fucking cunt who can't even speak English into the mix. You know, that I just thought I'd fucking add that in. Goal 9, build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. By God, what a pile of horse shit. Translation: mandate changes to infrastructure in all countries, creating greater national debt to be paid for by levying higher taxes on the population. Wow, they seem to be achieving that goal quite well here in Australia, but I think they're missing a few bits there, because what they needed to add there is making sure that the country is completely reliant on the fucking system so it can be better managed by the communist cohort. Goal 10 of the communist New World Order for sexual perversion and the raping of children: reduce inequity within and among countries. You've got to be shitting me. What government has ever managed to achieve such a bullshit lie? Translation: push international trade agreements on all countries. Yep, to benefit mega corporations. Fucking oath, and making sure we are dependent on the system. So this is where we're mixing the worst of capitalism and the worst. Oh, g'day, Rachel. How are you? Thank you. Love that shit. I believe you've got one too, eh? Yeah, look at that. Anyway, translation into English for, making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. What a pile of shit. Create protected rural spaces, forcing people into cities and mega cities. And for those of you who don't realize what mega cities are, pick up a Judge Dredd comic book. It pretty much sums up what they intend for the world, with 24/7 surveillance in all public places, and ban single-family homes with gardens. Yep, we can't have people having a garden. You notice a lot of these new developments have no backyard, no front yard. It's just a house on barely enough fucking land. And they want to tell you all about how you should be out there growing a garden, and you should have a compost heap, and you should do this and you should do that. But where? Where are supposed to do that? How are people living in an apartment with barely enough space for a balcony to hang out a couple of clothes? Oh, did you? Heavy hometown new wave, yeah, I think. Oh, g'day. So heavy hometown new wave, that would be you, Dave. How are you, mate? Create protected rural spaces, forcing people into cities, megacity. We did that bit, didn't I? Got distracted. Sorry, back to 12. All right, so some more of the pedo cult agenda. Goal 12 of the pedos: ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Sustainable. There's that horrible word again. Translation: introduced utility quotas and penalized waste disposal, and encourage people to report on offending people or businesses. Yes, dob in your neighbor, get your copy of George Orwell's 1984 Communist Manifesto #1. Goal 13, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Are you for fucking real? Goal 13, make urgent actions on a complete fucking fantasy based on utter bullshit. Thank you. Okay, well, that's my translation. Let's see what they said. Implement carbon taxes and legalize current weather modification and geoengineering practices. Wow, isn't that interesting? We've already done that. Here in the land of Oz here, where, stupidity seems to be at its finest on a lot of days, especially with this disgusting corporate control that we live through. Here we go. Have a look at how bad things already are. I mean, any wonder they love Australia so much. We've had corrupt politicians doing this shit since 1967. For fuck's sake. Here they are. And they've had 16 renditions of it. Like, one day I'll take the time to go through it all and see how much they've fucking manipulated, changed, and twisted and turned things to make even more pollutants in the air fucking viable. But go ahead, read the Rainmaking Control Act of 1967. Go for your life. Next time somebody tries to tell you about climate change, point this out. Oh yeah, I can see how the climate changed. They've been fucking with it since 1967. For Christ's sake, how stupid are people? Add to stage. What are you doing? Right, here we go. Got it sorted. So, take urgent action on climate change. Get fucked. That's how you start. You guys created it, just like every other problem on this planet. Goal 14 of the pedo satanic cult: conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. What a pile of horse shit. But apparently what it really means is mandate licenses and quotas for all fishing, including individuals who fish for their own consumption. That's right. We're going to take away the God-given right for you to go and get your own food. How dare you? No, that's what it means. How dare you, as a little pedo fucking baby might say. Goal 15 of the satanic pedophile cult: protect, restore, and promote sustainable. They love that word sustainable, as if they themselves are the UN, our governments are the most unsustainable things in the world. That's why they continuously raise taxes. They are unsustainable. So if we want a sustainable society, we need to get rid of these people. That's my theory. But anyway, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, whereas in we deserted your fucking left-hearted ideas, perhaps, and halt and reserve land degradation. I'm not having a good day. Sorry, painkillers. And halt biodiversity loss. Translation into normal people: ensure every possible seed is preserved in the Slavbard global seed vault, so powers that can regenerate the earth for themselves after they destroy it for everyone else. It's pretty straightforward. I think we could also add in that we want to make sure that you can't go out there and catch your own food or live off the land in any way, shape, or form like everybody's fucking ancestors did. Like shit, every culture has always done this. Every human being on the face of the earth has gone out hunting and gathering, whether it be fishing or hunting. We've been doing it for thousands upon thousands of years, but it's taken the UN to come in and save us from our harmful ways. Fuck off. Goal 16 of the pedo cult: promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. Oh, hang on, we did that one, didn't we? Oh, no. It just reads like all the others so much I got confused. Provide access to justice for all. Justice for all? Really? And build effective. Really? You got to be shit. Accountable and inclusive. There's another fucking word that makes you sick these days. Institutions at all levels. Translation into normal people: strengthen police states everywhere. Institute pre-crime departments and RFID chips to track everyone, while giving tax breaks to organizations that promote certain government agendas via hiring policies or their product service offering. Sounds about right. What else have we got? Goal 17 of the satanic pedo cult: strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. There's that fucking word that makes you sick again: sustainable. Translation: end national sovereignty, placing every country under a socio-communist rule of totalitarian one world government. Compliments of our friends at the Star of David. Agenda 2030, New World Order disguised as sustainable development. It's, pretty straightforward. We haven't got many years left, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't got many years left. We need to get this shit under control, and quick smart. We are in a lot of trouble. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, we are in more shit than a faggot's finger. Sips. So, what other crap have I found on the internet today? To talk about how sick and twisted the world is. Oh, some more UN pedo cult stuff. Well, let's have a look at the UN pedo cult's got to say here.
This is causing like 20% of all greenhouse gas emissions.
Oh, really? All greenhouse gas emissions are caused by eating. Us horrible fucking people. How dare we eat? We've only been doing it for thousands of years, but apparently now it's a problem.
So it's damaging a lot of things in the world.
No, what's damaging a lot of things in the world is fucking morons like you. Fucking hell, couldn't we use your shiny head there to fucking maybe cut down on the lighting bill?
Climate change is caused for 20% by meat and dairy. So the producers of meat and dairy should pay for the damage they cause.
Really? Can you prove that they've caused any fucking damage, you fucking lunatic? You've done more damage and you should fucking pay for it by opening your fucking trap, you fuckwit.
That's normal. When I damage the window of my neighbor, I have to repair this damage.
Like fuck you would.
But meat and dairy processors also have to repair the damage they cause.
What a pile of shit. What an utter pile of shit. How dare you eat meat and dairy? We've been doing it for thousands upon thousands of fucking years, and like I said, now it's a fucking problem. You've got to be shitting me. These people are fucking retarded. Oh, I've just realized there's some starred comments. I better fucking get to them. Climate change, more like it. Yeah, exactly. All right. So, Jason Batty, have you seen Pauline playing Monopoly with Elbow? No, I haven't. Do you want to email that to me, man? I'll have a look. If you've got a copy of that, I will happily bring that in case you've forgotten. Surely everybody knows by now, but in case you don't, NQ Freedom Network at protonmail.com. Love to hear from you. At the end of the day, you know, one of the things I want to address today, I'll get into more detail, is we need more people getting involved. You know, it's not supposed to be me. I'm not. When I started doing this, I never imagined I was going to be sitting here for a couple of hours whinging and complaining about how much everything's fucked because everybody feels the same, and you guys think that's entertainment somehow. But you know that it is what it is. That's how it is at the moment. But I highly I'd like to encourage others to get more involved in this shit because it's the North Queensland Freedom Network, as in I'm networking with all you people. So yeah, by all means, share what you got. Oh, cool. I just got your thank you from Trish. No worries, Trish. Sorry, I fucked up last week. Hopefully we fixed it all now. So sorry, I don't want to take that down. Sorry. And starred comments back to Harps here. Didn't Gina just buy another plane for the Royal Flying Doctors? Yes, I did read that. Thank you for reminding me. Something I meant to do, but I didn't through the pain today. Think to get this shit ready was yes, she did. So yeah, you know, what a horrible billionaire. She's given a plane to Pauline Hanson, and now she's giving one to the Royal Flying Doctors. I don't see him jumping up and down and complaining about her giving a plane to the Royal Flying Doctors. Amazingly, like, wow, isn't that interesting? You know, how well they pick and choose where Gina spends her money. Batty, the lads from What the Fuck said nut jobs thought you were Michael's Cafe Lockdoubt's son and trolling. Really? Fun and trolling. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look at that. I'll ask him. I got him on. You know what happened there. Maybe there was. I don't know. Was there a fuckwit pretending to be me on their fucking podcast? Perhaps I don't know. What you'll have to give me a little bit more on that, dude. Anna, sorry, missed where all the goals are originally listed. Is it Agenda 2030? Yes, that's the Agenda 2030 goals listing. That's exactly what that is. We ended at the came up at the end. So anyway, we got it sorted. All right. Any more good questions that I need to answer? Because we are coming close to the end here, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've got any questions or things you want to share, now is the time to do it. You know, I'll quickly remind you of the email address. If you found something that we want to bring up, fucking, you know, send it through to me. Otherwise, we'll be ending this pretty shortly. Last couple of videos here from the crap I found. Here's a, you know, well, I hope for my wonderful Indigenous friends that you guys won't find this particularly offensive, because I think what it's really targeting here, and the reason I'm playing it, is the fictitious creation of the Welcome to Country, not the real Welcome to Country that I've personally gone and happily experienced with my wonderful Indigenous friends. But this is, again, a product of leftism. The lunatics and the morons that have created this fucking problem have created this version of comedy. Hopefully you can see the joke in it.
Welcome. Come in, come in. So for the last few days, I've been preparing for my first Welcome to Country. Okay, so this is my space I've been practicing in. It is a bit messy, sorry. Don't mind that. I'm so excited. I'll just show you the first 10 seconds of the dance. It's been something I've wanted to do ever since I started identifying as a black fella. My people have been here for over 60,000 years. Oh, excuse me. I've been learning a lot from some of my favourites in the mob. And researching about when it all started. I think I finally got the basics down pat. sometimes that happens. The goal is one day AFL Grand Final.
Wow, I'm glad you laughed at it, Anna. I really enjoyed the part here where she's researching where it all come from. Gold, absolute gold, because that's pretty much what it is. He invented it. He took something that was actually real and distorted it into this political nightmare that we see now, which is unfortunately doing more harm for the indigenous people than it could ever have done any good. It is absolutely horrific what this welcome to country shit has done for the Aboriginal people. It hasn't done anything good for them. It's allowed a couple of grifters to make a shitload of money out of a bullshit ceremony that means fucking nothing. You want a real welcome to country, you got to go to proper blackfella, go out on country with them and really experience what it's supposed to be. You won't get it forced down your throat at a fucking stadium, and all it does is create animosity, and it breeds the creation of this right wing that never fucking existed in this country until the leftards made it. These people have created racism. They have created the problem. Leftard is the biggest enemy of all mankind as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen anything quite as fucking retarded as those people. If you can't figure out what a woman is, you should not open your fucking mouth. And the last one, the piece de la resistance. What does the world think when they come to visit Australia? Well, here we go. Here's a Yankee fella come visit Sydney. He can come see Australia people. What do he find?
Sydney, Australia. What a beautiful city. I love this place. I have one question to you guys though. Where are all the Australians? Like, where are they? I've seen Asian people. I've seen Indians. I've seen Muslims. Where are the Australians? Where are the, the kind of g'day mate, the Barbie, the shrimp, the cricket. You know what I mean? The racism. Where are these guys? I came here to view them in their natural habitat. I can't find a single one for the life of me. I mean, I'm not Australian either, but where are they?
I love it, because as you go through, you watch that video. I don't know if you probably the first time you watched him, right? I'm going to run that again. I want you to look in the background and play Spot the Aussie with me.
Guys, today I'm here in Sydney, Australia. What a beautiful city. I love this place. I have one question to you guys though. Where are all the Australians? Like, where are they? I've seen Asian people. I've seen Indians. I've seen Muslims. Where are the Australians? Where are the kind of g'day mate, the Barbie, the shrimp, the cricket. You know what I mean? The racism. Where are these guys? I came here to view them in their natural habitat. I can't find a single one for the life of me. I mean, I'm not Australian either, but where are they?
Well, I couldn't find one. Could you? Any wonder old mate's having trouble. They come to Australia, couldn't find a fucking Australian. This is retarded. This is beyond a fucking joke. Send you a link to Saturday Night Anarchy, Sunday our time, if you'd like to join Tom and others. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So Sunday our time, but is that Sunday morning? What actual time, dude? But yeah, send me a link. I'll have a look. It'll probably be the last thing I do, because we've reached the end of the show, and I haven't seen anything come through the mailbox here. So look, it's with deep regret that I'm going to have to take a bit of a break, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably the hardest part of the show right now is that, for close to 2 years now, I've been dealing with a lot of fucking pain. The back it's been a roller coaster ride from hell. And I feel quite often that the roller coaster ride is going to derail itself. And, I've been having a lot of panic attacks for the last 9 months. It's become almost a daily expectancy, I don't sleep very well. Every morning I wake up, I can't get out of bed properly. It takes me good fucking half an hour to an hour to stretch everything out and get myself so I can even stand up straight. And that's had one hell of a mental effect. And I kind of just need to take a bit of a break. I was having a panic attack before I even got onto the show today. So I medicated and then self-medicated again, just so I could get through. So I hope you take the time to understand what it is that's happening. The best way I could describe what's going on in my head sometimes is go and have a look at Metallica, The Unnamed Feeling. I don't think I could explain it any better than that, you know. So I'm just going to take a bit of a break and go walkabout, you know, and sort a few things out. I've got to get a lot of shit sorted. You know, I've been sitting here in a hole for 9 months, and no one's throwing me a rope. There ain't no ladders being extended down. I'm stuck in a fucking hole and I need to get out. And even though, you know, I have family and friends around me, none of them feel the pain and the crap that I'm going through. So I feel alone, even though I'm surrounded by friends and support, and obviously all you amazing people too. So I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. Kind of a 3 to 4 weeks is kind of what I've got in my head at the moment. You know, I got to get out. You know, like I've been out on the beach quite a lot lately, and you know, an example of how painful it is. A beautiful beach, just fucking 10 to 15 minutes drive down the fucking street, but the beach is like that. You know, so I can't walk on it because it offsets my spine. I couldn't fucking do it. I had to go drive even further out to a beach that was flat, you know, so that I could walk along the beach just to center myself. So yeah, shit's a bit bad. You know, it's certainly not the fucking trolls. The trolls make me want to come back. The more the trolls fucking attack, the more I want to fucking come back. So I want to thank the trolls for inspiring me to never give up, because shit, the last 9 months, you have no idea how many times I've gone, I can't do this today. I can't fucking do this show. I can't, but I find a way to conjure up the strength like I did today. And Belinda wanted a song. I understand. So a song for Belinda, you know, we'll go with what happened last week. And sorry, I had to take last week's show down. It wasn't really good for Brother Benny. So I've pulled that down in honor of him. Hopefully, you know, it hasn't caused him too much harm in his life. You know, I got a bit carried away too and didn't have the sense to rein him in. So that's on me as well. So, but we are going to come back when I get my shit together and have another crack at it. We'll go through some of Brother Benny's songs, and hopefully I'll have my head in a better space and we can talk a little bit more about mental health issues, you know, and, you know, when it comes down to it, what caused it, you know, work cover and the government. That's what's caused my fucking problems, you know, like I could easily point the fucking finger right there at the government and work cover. They are the cause of my mental illness at the moment. So I want to thank the wonderful support systems. What a pile of fucking shit. What a pile of shit. You people are more of a parasite than you have not helped. You've made everything fucking worse. So we're going to go out on a bit of Bogan Nation, Chainsaw. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for the love and support. Much appreciated. I'm going to go find a place to have a panic attack. Here's Bogan Nation, Chainsaw, just for you, Belinda.
Come on, yeah. Oh, no.
Ah.